Hey there, StarCraft fans. It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya. Today we're going to have StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 replays for you today in the same post. I figured we'd just put them together because they are all replays from patrons of mine from patreon.com/FalconPaladin at the $10 a month level. Okay, so StarCraft 2 is going to start it off here at the 1 hour and 47 minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to Brood War. So if you're here for RJB's fastest map ever replay being cast by me featuring HamburgerSasu, just skip to 1 hour and 47 minutes-ish and you will be happy. And if you're here for StarCraft 2, there are some pretty incredible games here. Do you like nukes? There are nukes here. Do you like close games? There are close games. You like team games? You like fastest map? Everything that you ever wanted is in this cast. And that's about it. So enjoy both StarCraft 2 and Brood War in the same place today. And let me know what you think of this concept. I kind of think I want to do this out on Twitch. But maybe if you want to see it on YouTube, I can export it. Anyway, let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for watching. Take care of yourself while you're watching this. And we'll see you at the end. Alright, game number 1 of our Brood War StarCraft 2 combined cast today is going to be on heavy artillery. It's going to be Andrew Couscous Orange Doge versus Taste My Pickle and Millie Thorilli. Woo! What names? All right, so Team 1 here on Heavy Artillery is going to be the Red Terran player Andrew and his teammate Orange Doge. And in the south, we have Team Joker. It is the Purple Protoss player Millie Thorilli. And then we have Taste My Pickle from the Zerg player here. All right, so who's going to come out on top here on Heavy Artillery? The nice thing about Heavy Artillery is if you are 2 Terrans, as we are here, or a Terran and a Protoss, or 2 Protoss, you can wall this off really easily against early Ling attacks. If you are a Zerg player and you're facing off against anything where there's not a Zerg on the other team, or even if there is a Zerg on the other team, don't even try going pool first here. Don't even try getting up this ramp because it will be walled off and you will have wasted an early pool and destroyed your economy for no reason. That said, Taste My Pickle is going for an extractor pool opening. It wasn't a pool first play, but it was pretty early, and Millie Thorilli could be going for a 1-gate expand, but I feel like that's going to be a Cyber Core after that gateway finishes. So it feels like a bit of maybe of a 1-base style attack. And good thing Orange Doge here, very early engineering bay. I feel like these players maybe aren't the super highest level based on some of these build orders, but that's all right. We are here for the StarCraft. We're here for the love of the game. We're here to figure out what players are doing at the lower levels and what things they can learn from and what kind of funny stuff is going on too. Because sometimes at the higher levels, you know what's going to happen and you know what happens, and then the ending sometimes isn't much of a surprise. Right. Here though, I don't know if you can know what to expect. Now remember what I said about these Lings not being able to do much. Mr. Pickle here might be able to prove me wrong. We'll have to see if that's something he's interested in doing or not. In the meantime, Reaper production here from Orange Doge. We've got a factory on the way from Andrew. He's got double gas, so it makes sense that he's going factory. And also double engineering bay, though. But why double engie bay if you're also going factory? Maybe the factory is just for tanks, and he's intending to make additional barracks and go for some other stuff. Now, here's the thing. The wall is good. But no! Oh, jeez. Orange Doge opened that door temporarily and was like, hey, Zerglings, why don't you come in? And was like, no! Never mind. How at 2:30 do you not have anything to defend right now? That's amazing. The Reaper just decided to move on out and see what he can get done against a Protoss player who is, in fact, going 3-gate here with Warp Gate research. Just make, like, 2 Marines. There we go. 2 Marines. Job. Wait, hold on. But you actually have to... Okay, that's fine, I guess. And the Lings do get shoved away there. Now, woo! I might be coughing a little bit. I did just cast the entirety of the StarCraft Brood War Falcon Paladin 200 open today, as well as 2.5 hours on YouTube. So this is going to be some additional casting to round off my day, which is, it's a lot, is what I'm trying to say. Anywho... At the end of the day, nobody's taking this expansion, which kind of weirds me out from Andrew and Orange. Somebody really should be on 2 bases, although same story here. This is a 1-basing Pickle going 1-base Roach Nidus, which I don't think is an actual build. Man, Andrew needs more stuff. I mean, Andrew, he's working on stuff, but I think at this point, his units are a Marine. He has a Marine right now, and there it is at 350. It is too late in the game to have a Marine, but, you know, he's spending his money. He's teching up. He's got a tank. That Nidus is coming up somewhere. Ah, back here where nobody expanded, and here come Der Zerglings. Oh, dear. So there's a tank that's useful here. The tank going to smash a lot of these lings. They're not quite sure what they're doing, which is going to be a problem for them. They finally make a beeline for the tank, and they try to kill it, and they do, but then the rest of the lings get cleaned up by the Marines. So more lings are pouring out of this Nidus Worm, which is why killing Nidus Worms is a priority for everyone in StarCraft. If you see a Nidus Worm from the enemy, you must kill it. And Speedlings do pretty well against unupgraded Marines. Yo, this is tight. This is some really, really tight stuff right now. It's not enough lings to where it's GG, but it's a good number of lings. They can fight SCVs pretty effectively. Although Orange Doge seems to understand how that works. Or do you? Oh, right. So Andrew's attempt at an expansion dies here to Millie Thrilly as he brings his effective little 4-gate up here at about 4.5 minutes. Going to try to get through the front door while there are roaches in the back door. We did see that roach foreign from Taste My Pickle earlier. Marines do pretty good against roaches in smaller numbers. That Marauder especially is hugely important. But guess who's in the front door? It is Millie Thrilly. He's in the front door. The kiting here from Orange Doge is not bad. Priority, though, killing the Nidus. Remember that? Good inside the bunker. Ooh, defensive. Oh, defensive lurker that the Stalkers are not paying attention to. Oh, no. Oh, no, Stalkers. Ah! Oh, Zealots taking massive hits there. The Nidus goes down. There's a Widow Mine over in this area, too, in case something came out of that Nidus. And it looks like Andrew and Orange Doge are going to be able to hold this, thanks in most part to this Liberator that did a ton of damage to the incoming units. Now, on the other side, Mr. Protoss is floating about 1,000 minerals and 800 gas. Is not really getting consistent warp-ins here. And in fact, I don't... Ooh, there's a Nidus coming up right here, Mr. Orange Doge. Oh, he sees it. Kind of. It's a little bit late. And it's up, and here come the roaches. How many roaches are there? Are there enough to handle these Marauders? Ooh, and a Liberator, too. They got out of the Liberator circle, but it is covering any further units that come out of here. Priority from Andrew, again, is killing the Nidus Worm. Which, all right, it's good. It's down, and there's only maybe 4 roaches in here and a handful of Zerglings. It's not a huge deal, but it is definitely aggressive, and it's definitely annoying as well. Liberator getting a couple shots off. They do obliterate a roach. Ooh, I like this bunker as it catches a roach that I don't think intended to pick a fight, but it just kind of moved over in this area, and there was a bunker ready to kill it. Unfortunately. Meanwhile, Stalkers heading up the left side, and Orange Doge has expanded. Andrew expanding to this backside now. Finally, the Zerg player taking a second base, and Millie Thrilly's on 2 bases himself. So we just go in Mass Stalker here, which I don't think Mass Stalker is great against 2 Terrans. If they have enough Marines and Marauders and Liberators and Medevacs and stuff, it's going to be a bad time for Mass Stalker for sure. That said, the earlier in the game these guys show up, the better they are, and the later in the game they show up, the worse they are, as upgrades scale very nicely for Bio. Another Knight is coming up here as there's an Overseer just completely getting vision of this backdoor base. I think the Stalkers might attack while Team Red and Blue is dealing with this Nidus. And in fact, that's what's happening. So this first game is action-packed. I really don't have a complaint about this whatsoever. Yeah. Alright, well these Stalkers are forcing Orange Doge to lift off his natural, which is a humongous problem. And again, the longer the game goes on, the better Bio is against roaches as well. It's just a matter of fact. Your roaches are not going to trade very well versus these dudes in the long run. So you need to tech out of roaches and lings and banelings. The gas you would have gotten for the banelings here, that would have been incredible. If these were just lings and banes pouring out. Andrew would have had a rough time with it. They're going to go ahead and try to get rid of this Overseer. That is kind of in stationary mode there. Is going to get chased away. And will it escape? It's a little bit slow because it doesn't have the speed upgrade. Yeah, 16 more HP. He's okay. He is an alright Overseer. No problemo whatsoever. So a decent hold. However, it comes at the cost of Orange Doge losing his natural base. And really, Andrew's got nothing going for him on the natural at this point other than a couple SCVs. So it's not a huge deal. It's 78 supply for Millie Thoroughly right now, which is massive. Orange, Doge, and Pickle are at 35 supply each. Andrew is at 67, which is good. Liberator's just... Oh, yeah. Liberator, Marine, Tank versus Stalker. Like, look at them. They're going to try to take down that... Oh, they don't... Okay, they get the Liberator, but they lose so many Stalkers in the process here. The tanks aren't even really sieged up. There we go. Siege is up. Ugh. And can't finish off that tank. He's got 3 kills. That was really well held. And then he wasn't even fighting at the shield batteries. Ow, ow, ow. Slow warping because he doesn't have a gateway over here. Pro tip for Millie Thrilly, if you're going to warp in on the other side of the map, just make a gateway touching one of these pylons power fields and you'll have a better time of it. Is he going to be supply blocked? No. Losing these pylons will not do that to him. At least the Zerg player is on 2 bases. I'm very pleased about that. The problem is that he's working on more roaches, which that's the tech that he has. He's making a baneling nest and he's working on a spire here too. So we'll see if that's enough for him to make it happen or not. That is 19. Woo, 19 SCVs on that command center right now. It is not ideal. He is expanding and he's almost done. He can do a bit of a Maynard transfer. I don't know what this SCV is up to, but the rest of them are transferring down here to the natural base, so that's good news. At 10 minutes, if you're a Zerg player and you don't have a 3rd base, it's going to be a bit of a problem for you in the long run. Is that another Nidus? Holy smokes. It is another Nidus here out of Taste My Pickle. Alright, finally that Overlord getting chased away. I love that there's this little ramp, like loading missiles onto this Hercules kind of carrier thing. But the Nidus comes up, and there's enough bio here to where unloading would just be suicide, and Taste My Pickle very intelligently does not engage in such behavior. Bunch of lings just kind of running around here. I'd love to see baneling speed research. Do we have baneling speed? No. Haven't started with baneling speed yet from Millie Thrilly. Andrew's got his 3rd base just about done. Okay, 3 basing Terran. Pretty scary stuff. Orange is at 68 total supply. Everybody's around 60, 70 supply right now. And the mutas from Taste My Pickle are out here too. So, as we said, Spire finishing up, immediately goes into muta production. Do not fight the Marines, though! Okay, he fought the Marines for just 2 seconds, and that... When I say do not, I do not mean engage with them temporarily for just a few seconds. I mean do not engage with the Marines or your Mutalisks will die. That was some scary stuff right there. 3rd base coming in here from Millie Thoroughly. Really, without splash damage, he's going to have a hard time with this. We say it all the time. If you're playing against a Terran player who's going Marine Marauder, as both these players are from Team Captain America, if you don't have any splash damage in your Protoss, you're probably going to die, regardless of what else you do. It's just, it's not going to work out. You need something to hit multiple of these guys at the same time, because they're all little damage-dealing demons, and they will ruin your day, given the opportunity. Taste My Pickle finally getting a 3rd base at 12 minutes, while some other people are getting their 4th bases. Which, not great here from Mr. Pickle. He's having a rough time of it, but he got some banelings out. He's working on centrifugal hooks. And really, Team Captain America is just going mass Marine, Marauder, Medevac, with maybe some Liberator and some tank support. I like it a lot. They held that early attack. They're macroing up hard, spending their money fairly well. Nobody's at 1,000 minerals yet, except for Millie Thoroughly, who really has a hard time spending his money. He's sitting at 1,500 minerals and 1,000 gas. 51 probes is way more than anybody has here, too. That's part of the problem. It's a blessing and a curse to have a lot of workers because your income is awesome, but at the same time, you also have to spend that money or you look like you're an incompetent player. Fair or not. This tank is purely for Nidus shenanigans, which I think we're done with. I'm not sure that Pickle's intending to do any of that ever again. Andrew's 3rd base, 4th base happily up and running here. Doge's 3rd base happily up and running. Yeah. Bit of a drop here from Andrew, but the Banelings are going to... Ooh, he picked it up and got out of there. The Mutas are going to give chase, but the boost is faster than the Mutas. And then he unloads back here to fight against the Mutas direct. I kind of love this. He gets one of the Mutas. That was all right. I mean, you weren't running away forever. I think maybe boosting down here would have bought you a little bit more time to where the Lings were going to show up, but good idea. It was a good idea nevertheless. Burrow is on the way from Millie Thoroughly. Andrew and Doge are both over 100 supply. Pickle and Thorilli are both either over or close to 100 supply here at 13 minutes, which again is an indication these players are not super duper high level, which again is fine. They enjoy playing StarCraft. It's a good time. I love that Carbot donut eating Marine down there. He's a big boy. That's what he is. Ooh, Thor's in production here too. I don't like Thor's versus Protoss as much, but again, if the Protoss is only making Stalkers, then like, sure. Let's get some Thors in the mix. As long as there aren't any Immortals, you're going to have a pretty good time with it. And it seems like, I don't know, is this all that Millie knows how to make is Stalkers? It seems like an obstacle to Millie's winning here. I'm not sure who's pinging, but somebody's pinging something. They're walling off. These Banelings? Oh, burrowed Banelings. I guess we did see Burrow coming in. So burrowed Banelings fairly shenanigan. We're scanning around. We see the Lings. We see the Roaches. We see the Mutalisks. It's really not an army worth being terrified of from the Zerg. Again, he's only on 3 bases at 15 minutes, which is a little bit problematic because other people are on 3 and 4 bases on the other side of the map. And they're not Zerg, which means they're 2 bases up on you. Hydralisk Den coming in, kind of like that. He's sort of all over the place, though. You have to pick a lane, generally, in StarCraft and do it. If you're going to go Ling, Baneling, Muta, do that. If you're going to go for Roaches, do that, but not for too long. Get off it and go something else. You're going to go Hydra Roach Baneling? Better. I do like anything that incorporates Banelings against Terran for sure. But to a certain extent, the Roaches and Hydras just aren't going to do super well for themselves. So the Orange Doge scouts this happening. Look at him kiting. This kiting from Doge is not bad. Kind of like it. It's not the best I've ever seen. Also, he's expanding up here to the 12 o'clock base to take a gold for his 4th. As for all the aggression we saw in the early stages of this match, not much aggression otherwise, really. Everybody's about 50 workers. Three threes on the way from Andrew. Considering all the aggression and defense we saw in the early stages of the game, 3-3 is pretty good at 16 minutes. I'm not going to complain about that one at all. These burrowed Banelings I worry about, though, and my goodness. That is a lot of Banelings. 98 Banelings exist on the map right now. All of them are Mr. Pickles. It's not Mr. Pickles, the Adult Swim show that I watched the first episode of and was like, no thanks. This ramp is just death, though. Maybe don't attack in. Okay, well. Here Banelings from all sides, though. Are we alive? I like how the Liberator is set up at the last second there. And then the Stalkers come in. And look, this is a lot of Stalkers. I'm not going to tell you this is not many Stalkers. But this is pure Stalker versus pure Bio. I love that Doge just kind of wanders up to and bumps into the Stalkers and then just tears them to pieces. That is what happens to Stalkers when they engage directly with Bio. He's not even blinking away. Millie went from 177 supply to 57 supply in about 10 seconds there. That was brutal. Oh, the Burrowed Banes, though. Here they are, and sure, they're getting some hits, but that could have been a lot worse for the Terran. Yeah, man, Orange Doge looking good. Hydras are not going to cut it here by any stretch of anything. Yeah, this looks like our GG, ladies and gentlemen. This counterattack, this big-time first attack from Ender and Orange. Hydras are not going to work right now. Not against Marauders, not against Thors, not really. This Thor has 5 HP. This one has 17 HP. Look at him calling down mules to repair the Thors. I hope that's what he's doing. Yeah, look at him repairing the Thors on the front lines. This one has 7, 8. The focus firing takes them down. The mules are here for no reason, but this is getting really bad all of a sudden. Yeah, Mr. Pickles. Yeah. His 3rd base is down, and that's it. He's out. And good game, says Orange Doge. It's a last Nidus of the day. I don't know where it is. Oh, he just tossed it up next to Andrew's base. Oh, that's what the pinging was for. I don't think he has any units to put in it, though. He just threw it up for the thrills of it, because he has 2 queens. And that's it, man. Game 1 ends with Andrew and Orange Doge working together. 177 and 136 total supply. Looking strong, continuing to produce stuff. Continuing to stream across the map to join up and crush the evil team Joker here on Heavy Artillery. So that's your Game 1. Pretty good stuff. I'm not going to complain about it. Well done indeed. And just quick check of the units lost here. And resources lost. Yeah, 26,000 resources lost for Millie and 17,000 for Pickle. And just nothing in the tens of thousands at all for Andrew and Orange. Partially, that really came down to the fact that those Stalkers thought they could handle a giant Marine Marauder ball, which they cannot. I don't know that I've ever seen a player with that many Stalkers just engage directly with that much Marine Marauder and not try to run away. Man. Good stuff. All right, so game 1 in the books. Let's move into game number 2 here for the StarCraft 2 side of things. We'll be right back. Game 2's here on Eternal Empire. Bottom left, Nord. He's a red Protoss player. And in the top right, it is the enemy of Nord. It is a blue Terran player named Zfigum. Zfigum? I think it's Zfigum. Anyway, PBT here on Eternal Empire. We're going to speed up a little bit because nobody's proxying and nobody's doing cannon rushes here in game numero 2 of my Patron cast for August 2020. Again, the reason I'm casting these games is because everybody involved, well, one of the players involved in every one of these games supports me on patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $10 a month, which gives them the right to send me any replay. It can be their replay, as it usually is. It can be the replay of somebody else that they want me to cast. I'll toss it up. I don't care. $10 a month gives them the right for me to cast whatevs. And that's where we live right now today. Now, Probe Scouting says nothing much to worry about. The double gas is a little bit worrisome, but you know what? I think we're going to be okay. I'm just going to go ahead and expand after I toss down the Cyber Core. It's a little bit safer than going for a Gateway expand just naked. Reaper on the way here. Man, a Reaper at this level... all right, man. I guess it's a combination, right? Maybe it's better to have a Reaper out at the lower levels and at the higher levels, because at the higher levels, getting a kill is almost impossible against an elite Protoss player. But at the lower levels, you know what? Maybe their timing on the Adept is late. Maybe their timing on the Stalker is late. Just kidding. Stalker's here. And Reaper... Oh, did he KD8 charge himself? I think he did. I think that hurt him. Unfortunately. But he gets the scout off. He sees everything the Protoss is doing, including the double gate with the Cyber Core and the double gas, which kind of feels like a Protoss build here from Nord, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Double gas has been pumping, which means that Zfigum has a ton of the Vespine deliciousness. What's he going to do with it? That's what I would like to know. The answer is... make a Widow Mine. Alright, fair enough. You can also make a Starport if you wanted to drop those Widow Mines on the Protoss. That's actually really good at the lower levels. It kills Protoss at the professional level, which means you know it's going to be doing some good stuff at the lower levels here too. So Reaper continuing to scout, sees the robotics facility and says, alright, they're going to have the ability to make observers. Whether or not they actually make observers, I don't know. This control is actually pretty good from Zfigum. This Reaper does not have any kills, but it's also not dead after making 2 entire trips all the way through the red Protoss base. That is a brave, brave Reaper. He has some stories to tell for sure. On the other side, Mr. Figum here is floating about 600 gas, is not doing much with it. He's also got some bugging out SCVs, which I think he's rallying. He's trying to rally from the main base, but the supply depot is up. And as a result, they can't get through, and they're just bugging out up here on the top of the ramp. So, Nord Warp Gates Observer is out. Going to move out across the map, try to get some scouting done. And if I were scouting this, I would say, I mean, probably Widow Mine. Well, this is a tech lab, though. A 1 Widow Mine drop? Maybe? Possibly? Sure, why not? Zfigum, for some reason, feels like he needs more supply when he's got 62 available. I mean, I guess better more than like too much than too little supply in general. I think that's some good advice and a way to live your life. But anyway, armory coming up here too. Maybe for the Widow Mines to remain permanently burrowed. Probably not for Hellbats. Hellbats aren't that great against Protoss. Wow, suicidal Reaper there. He was doing so well, and then he just decided he didn't want to live anymore. That's an empty bunker, friends. I know it's scary. Look at him running past. He's like, wait, there's nothing in that bunker. Oh, Widow Mine. God, it does take down a Stalker. That sucks. Kill the bunker. Bunker is dead. Marines get inside it for half a second. Guardian shield is up. I kind of love that. Dude, kill that. Kill the Widow Mine. Oh no, the armory's done. It's cloaked. Where's your observer? Your observer's somewhere. Where is it? There it is. Oh, that's a probe. Where's your observer? It's up here for reasons unknown. Either way, this is going pretty well. That Widow Mine, though. 2 kills on 2 shots is not bad. SCV's getting massacred for Figum, though. Mule's getting called down, and I don't... that high ground siege tank is performing a lot, but that's a 4-kill Stalker before its corpse gets tossed down the ramp. So Nord, if he had a follow-up here, would be pretty scary, but he's unfortunately sitting on 900 minerals and 700 gas, and these warp gates are all off cooldown as far as I can tell. So being able to warp in additional stuff would be incredible. If you're on 2 bases like this, make 7 warp gates if you're going to go for warp gate tech. Like, just really make a ton of Zealots and a ton of Stalkers. I love Figum. He's like, I'm down to 24 SCVs. I've lost 12 of them so far in this game. I'm going to take a 3rd base at 6 minutes. That is my mentality right now. And you know what? I think it is serving him well, because Nord really has nothing to put pressure on with other than these Stalkers, which are playing defense. I mean, I don't know what much of a counterattack there is here, although, hey, Figum's doing a counterattack. So shoot, why not? Also, Battlecruiser in production from Figum. When did he make a fusion core? I guess we saw that coming under the production tab a minute ago. Didn't we? Yes, we did, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I mean, Nord, unfortunately, making stuff, struggling a little bit here, but you know what? I kind of like this, catching these tanks before they're sieged up. Oh, that's so much better. That is so much better. Oh, that one tries to siege. It gets instantly one-shot. The Immortal Stalker combo is enough to one-shot these tanks. The Immortal is worth its weight in gold right now. It really is. I mean, we're going home, Marine tank. I don't think Figum's really been able to put together any kind of a scary army whatsoever, with the exception of this battlecruiser. But when there are 8 Stalkers on the ground, 8 Stalkers will take down a battlecruiser pretty handily. They have that bonus versus armored, you know. Don't ya know. 3rd base from Figum. It was aggressive. Maybe a little problematic. The response here from Figum is to maybe let it die. And here's the battlecruiser, and there's a Thor, which, okay, Thor needs to be, all right, we're just going to get out of here. That's cool. That's fine. Oh, but the Immortal dies. That's brutal stuff. Bring back the 3rd command center. He's bringing back the 3rd command center. Nord is making his own 3rd base. Does he have additional gateways? Not really, no. Yeah, if you're on 2 bases and on 4 gates, you'll notice you're going to be floating cash pretty consistently. You need more production facilities. The battlecruiser just jumped on over, but guess who's already home? The Stalkers are here because they are recalled out. Ow. 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 I mean, sure, it's doing damage to the Stalkers too. This shield battery wall is kind of awesome, actually. Battlecruiser has 4 kills, which is, you know, not bad. Could be worse. Dun, 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 dun. Third base warping in quite nicely from Nord Army Supply, 50 to 39 in favor of the Terran. He's looking a little bit, little scary. I kind of like the Marine Thor Battlecruiser combo. It's weird for the Stalkers, right? So the Battlecruiser is going to die because it's not running at all. Oh, wait, hold on. Get it, though. If you're going to, like, sacrifice... There we go. If you're going to sacrifice all your Stalkers, at least get the BC. Heavens. And he does. Now this is a lot less scary, because 1 tank, a handful of bruised Marines, and a Thor is just not going to make it happen. anytime here with this attack. With the shield batteries, with the 2 immortals, and the zealots, it's a really nice combo against this. And the shield batteries just make it that much better. Maybe stay within range of the shield batteries. Ow! Zealot gets obliterated. Where is his observer? I know he has one. It's still over on the other side of the map. Making multiple observers is a pro move. I would recommend using your robo to make an observer every once in a while. He is spending his money really well all of a sudden, though. Even, I guess maybe it's upgrades or something. Hey, there's another battle cruiser. Why did I think he'd stop at 1? That's just silly. Widowmine's getting hits off, and battle cruiser ranges further. Pull back to the shield batteries. The shield batteries are effectively drained of energy at this point. They are kind of just pretty looking globes now. They're kind of globish. Man, it's 42 to 18 army supply. Figum's doing a pretty good job building stuff. He's floating about 3,200 minerals now, so he's having the problem spending his cash at the moment. That is a Raven. That is another battle cruiser. We have recently seen a game where Supernova, the Korean Terran player, went battle cruisers against Neeb, who is an American Protoss player, and it was a great game. It got an epic tag, if you're interested in checking that out on the channel from last week. Not that long ago. I think I posted it on Friday. And this is coming in on a Monday. That's the plan anyway. Oh, this Thor just is not taking damage, because the Marines are doing a great job buffering here. Again, I'd recommend that Nord get some splash damage. We talked about this in the last game. If you're going against anyone that's going bio at all, getting a Disruptor or a Colossus or Storm would really be awesome. And by that I mean it would be really, really awesome. Nord doing a pretty good job evening his probes out among his 3 bases. That's always nice to see. Topside base from Figum for a 4th and a 5th simultaneously being created by the Blue Terran player. All right, Figum. Doing some good stuff here today. Yeah, so I mean, Figum is gas starved, mostly because he's not mining any gas from his natural for some unknown reason. And there's no gas coming in from the 3rd base either, and the 4th base doesn't have refineries yet. So, yes. He's like, why do I have so many minerals and so little gas? That would answer your question, good sir. It really would. Also, 1-1 coming in at 12 minutes is a little bit late. You're going 2-2 at this point, and maybe even 3-3. Especially with Chrono Boost on your upgrades, as Chrono Boost is not really being used all that much today. Figum's just been sitting here threatening and posturing for so long. Auto turret dies instantly. And, ooh, do you have Storm? Not yet. Storm is not done. High Templar having a bit of a problem here. Feedback, though, not an issue. Taking down that Raven. Like I said, Ravens are flimsy. Oh, the Stalker's coming from the other side, jumping out, leaving everybody else to die. The Immortal putting in some really important damage on that Thor. That was fantastic. Coming around from the other side, getting that wraparound and wrecking that army. It is still 34 to 39 army. There's still some stuff here from Figum. It was just out of reach, man. The Stalkers are going to try to fight all of these dudes. They have +1, which is great. And then he blinks back and realizes the Immortal can't blink with us. He's going to try to storm the guys. Which, alright. But look at this. Look at how fast that battle cruiser needs to... It's almost dead, but it's not quite there. That tank is being abandoned on the field, and it's going to die. Stalkers... Get it. It only has 11 HP. Sacrifice all of yourselves if necessary. Get this one right here. Okay, got it. Feel better about my life now. Okay, now that one's at 45 HP. Chase that one down too. Meanwhile, this one jumped into the main base and is just wrecking dudes. Look, warp in 5 Stalkers right here, Nord. You can do it. Ah, the counterattack, though. The counterattack is real. Alright, so Battlecruiser died to a single Stalker. I suppose you didn't need 5 Stalkers after all. Yeah, so this counterattack of just Stalkers. This is such a weird game. Kind of like it, honestly. Stalkers blinking all over the place. Widowmine's getting hits off because Nord refuses to bring observers along with him. against someone who's making observers, or making widow mines rather. Oh, that's not even a planetary. That should be a planetary, but it's also easy picking. You know that's there, right?
Base is under attack.
I mean, you know there's something over there, yes? Oh, High Templar, get out of there. Look at them using their... Ah! The Widow Mine takes them both out. This Immortal has seen some stuff. He's got 11 kills to his name. He is having a wonderful time. Wonderful time of it. And another battle cruiser because they're endless. Figum is just making nothing but battle cruisers right now. That's a lie. He's making other things, but he never stops making BCs, which I'm really impressed by. 61 to 39 total workers. This is just such a scrappy game. Another battle cruiser down to these just 1-1 stalkers. The Widow Mines continue to just absolutely vex Nord to no end. How many observers do we have? We have the one. And the one is back home now. He came home to deal with the Widow Mines that were here a while ago. Now this is where he lives forever. Even though cannons are providing detection functions pretty effectively. Figum has another base way down here. This is crazy. Oh, it's a forward pylon trying to warp in some stalkers, but the warp in time is too slow because there's not a gateway here. We talked about this in the last game. I think everybody understands. Gateway next to pylon means warp in is faster. This would have been a much different fight, and instead Nord's down to 15 army supply. Floating about 2,000 gas right now. More storm. Storm against Hellions and Marines both is really good. Charge lots also pretty good in this situation, especially since the Hellions don't have blue flame. I don't know if I can see the cooldown on these warp gates, because it always seems like they are... Hey, look, it's charge lots. What did I say about charge lots? Rah, 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 rah. Eating up everything. Oh, yeah. The thing is, they're bad against battle cruisers. Pro tip of the day. And he jumps out because he's dealing with these zealots. He jumps about 4 inches. Which is fine. I'm not going to complain about it. Stalker's getting rid of this orbital. Love this right now from Nord. He brought the charge lots into it. Yes, the charge lots demand sacrifice. And they shall receive it on this, the 7th day of the month. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nord's taking a 4th base down at the 6 o'clock. I mean, it's not no splash damage, but this is very much kind of a Nord goes against Terran with no splash damage scenario. No, you're not going to take down the planetary before everything else kills you. It's a guaranteed damage situation here. Get the guaranteed damage. Don't go for the maybe damage. The maybe damage there was killing this planetary, although it is on fire, and if X-Figum isn't paying attention, he's paying attention, the repair is real. Alright. Stalker goes down with 1 kill to his name, which honestly, if you're a Stalker, your golden life, hey, 2 kills is pretty good too. Man, he's expanding everywhere. Figum's just like, you know what I'm going to do? Going to expand everywhere on Earth. I'm floating about 8,000 minerals. I don't have much of an army, but you know what I can do is get a ton of resources. And maybe build... Wow. Has he been doing this with two starports? And all of his production's out here. Fair enough. It's like, where on Earth is all of his production? It's here, actually. Yeah, absolute scrap fest right here. I mean, Zealots can do that. You just need more than, like, 4 of them. Also, additional upgrades would be incredible. +2 is on the way. Shields are coming in. It's a bit of a lull in the action, so let's speed it up temporarily. Stalkers poking at a base they don't know. Nope. No. Really? Ow. Ow. No. Not happening here. High-sec auto-tracking on the way. +2 attack happening. Battle cruisers end up over at a completely, mostly undefended probe line here. It is 15 probes down and 40 SCVs killed today. The battle cruisers have 1-1, and they're working on that +2 attack here at 20 minutes. This is... I mean, Storm, insofar that it ignores armor, is actually not bad against battle cruisers, but it just doesn't do enough damage to really hurt them a lot, right? Ooh, that Yamato did knock it off because the Stalkers killed it. Yeah, this +2 on the Stalkers doing some work right now. Warp in some more Stalkers. Yes, and the blink. And the blink. Scrap. This game gets the scrap tag. So much of a scrap tag. We moving out, friends? I feel like we're moving out. I see you. I think you have enough to kill this planetary now that you have 2 immortals. Maybe don't let the immortals take all the damage first, though. Okay, there we go. Immortals. You both have to be shooting at it, though. Yeah, you're not repairing through that. Great storm on the SCVs, too. So many dead SCVs. Holy smokes. More battle cruisers in production right now. And he's like, you know what? Base down. Let's get out. Let's pull back to where maybe we have shield batteries. Nope, no shield batteries at this base. It's fine. So top left base is gone for Figum. Bottom right base is gone for Figum. This one is done. This one's coming up. Figum at 60 workers and making 5 command centers at a time right now, mind you. He's kind of doing some awesome stuff macro-wise. That poor shield battery is a little bit overworked, which is why we're making some 3 more here. Yeah, so 2 of these command centers are here, which seems odd. Suddenly entirely silent here. We're at the 22-minute mark of game number 2. Once again, not quite a planetary yet. And it's going to go down. The 2 immortals, the storm on the SCVs, it gets on out of there. There we go. That is how you do it, with a bunch of storm all over these Marines, feedbacking the medevacs, but still too much Terran. 114 to 21 army supply. Suddenly, Figum is massive. The number of bases he has or had, the number of production facilities he's rolling with, his upgrades are pretty good. He's working on +3 for the air right now. He's just doing everything. He's got Marines, medevacs, Thors, battle cruisers, Hellions, Vikings. It's such a weird setup. Now, you can throw this away with your massive 114 to 31 army supply lead if you go down this ramp and get stormed into oblivion. So is that what you're up to? I don't know. When behind Dark Shrine, though, from Nord. And he's making a Void Ray, because, you know, you heard Void Rays are good now, right? They got buffed. Well, that was underwhelming. But here again, I believe I made a very specific warning here, wherein I said going down that ramp was a poor life choice. Look at him worrying about that Void Ray, too. Battlecruiser doing some work. It's still 56 to 17 army supply. Like, we're still at a position where it's a little bit rough. Although these here stalkers, with these here +2 attack, they are mean. Ah, tried to blink dodge the Yamato. Couldn't quite pull it off, unfortunately. The targets did change as the blink happened. Thor's doing some work. Really doing some work there. 87 to 5 army supply. Rally your dudes, Figum. He's actually been spending his money to the point where he only has 400 minerals in the bank right now, which is insane. Nord's at 118, which is not great for him. Where is your army? Where is your 101 supply army? Bring them down. F2A move. Hey, look, the DT doing some shenanigans. This is not a planetary, and there is no turret anywhere. There's no way. There is no way there's a comeback in the making here. 107 and 23 army supply. A million cannons are here. And by that I mean 5, but you know, it's fine. Stalkers get one of the BCs. Stalkers get the other BC because Stalkers are good against BCs. And now there's just a Thor, which isn't going to do a whole lot. DTs from Nord, though. Really causing some issues. Widowmine finally takes him out. It is 19 workers for Figum right now. This game, though, this game is doing some things that I did not expect it to do. More DTs. Going after the very few SCVs that remain here from Figum. This is great, dude. Figum down to 7 workers. That orbital has so many scans available. He does scan this area, but there's only 1 Marine to handle it. Dude, this guy right here. He's doing some work. He's got 21 kills. The When Behind Dark Shrine has never felt more apt in its entire existence. There are 3 SCVs on the field. I don't know where they are. This here Marine Thor thing trying to make some stuff happen. Stalkers with shield batteries pretty good at small numbers of Marines, especially without medevac support. Oh, DTs in the mix. Big swings on these Thors, but the battle cruisers show up when all of the Stalkers are gone. The DTs aren't doing anything. The Void Rays, prismatic alignment, trying, but Yamato not enough to one-shot them anymore. This one, 10 HP left. Did not get one-shot. The other one had taken some damage, so the one, I mean, it looked like a one-shot, but it wasn't. Ow. Void Rays maybe not the answer here. Dude, Figum is at 4 workers and 7 minerals. Where are his workers? Oh, they're over here. Mining gas and not doing anything. So that's fun. Oh my gosh. Depowering the gateway production here. High ground is looking really nice for these battle cruisers right now. How is it? Where is the rest? Where are your 25 Marines, Figum? I see that you have them. They're all... Move out! Go! Wipe out this space. Come from this side and take out this space. Do something with them. So he jumps home. I mean, he's going to get some repairing, but I don't know how much. Tons of mules get called down on this base. The recovery for Figum has begun. Oh, it depowered all of those cannons and those shield batteries. Hey, look, a probe got out. Oh, just kidding. The probe is dead. And Figum is your winner. What? I mean, 61 to 9 army supply is problematic. It feels a little premature. Eh? I mean, yes, it's not much of an army for Nord, but he's got 500 minerals and 500 gas rolling. The battle cruisers have been super annoying the entire time. These are 25 Marines that are not really involved in the battle that would turn the tide immensely. So again, writing on the wall scenario, possibly. Entirely possible. Scrap. I don't know how else to explain that game other than to call it scrappy. Scrappy. 2 planetary fortresses died, an orbital command, 2 nexuses, 44 probes, 106 SCVs, 7 Thors, 11 battle cruisers went down, 111 stalkers. I mean, bloodbath on both sides of the equation. Units lost 40,000 for Nord, 36,000 for Figum. And I gotta say, Figum, his superpower was kind of just expanding everywhere and making a ton of orbital commands and attacking with battle cruisers, and Nord just couldn't quite get the hang of it. Tempests are not a bad idea against BCs. They do that bonus damage versus flying massive, and they outrange the battle cruisers pretty heavily. They're not a bad idea. Again, just more stalkers would have been good. Stalker, more stalker, and then storm. The idea was right. I just think the macro was a little bit lacking, unfortunately. So crazy game number 2. We've got more coming here today. So stick with this. I hope you're enjoying this Lobby stuff, because it's stuff that we don't see, right? It's stuff that we don't see normally in the pro level games. So stick with it. We'll be back just a second. For the next patron game for August, it's going to be Squid Cookies versus QC Bouchard here on Deathara, the Ladder Edition. We're just going to speed it up here because I don't think it's going to start with a proxy because the replay is kind of long. So top left corner we have the red Terran player Squid Cookies. And in the bottom right, it's the blue Zerg player QC Bouchard running the Brood War skin for his hatchery. I don't know if I like this. I think it's a little bit too overdone, but hey, whatever. I think QB Bouchard likes it, and that's all that matters for this game. 16 hatch. Oh, a pool before gas. Okay, pool before gas here. No speedlings in the future for Squid Cookies. 1 Rax expand here. He's scouting with an SCV. Yoink. Sees the hatch timing, says, okay, great. Sees the pool timing. Oh, that's a little bit weird. And the gas timing as well. Pool finishing before gas. All right, man. Your Zerglings will not have speed for a very, not a very long time, but just a long time comparatively to if you had gone gas before pool. But I don't know. Unless you're planning on being aggressive, that doesn't matter very much unless you're planning on chasing down Reapers off of creep, right? Oh, that SCV. Ah, that poor SCV. Squid Cookies? Squid Cookies. I think it was dead anyway. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe you could have made it back home, but... Oh, so not a Reaper. Not a Reaper here from Squid Cookies. Even though speed is severely delayed and actually still not going. Man, I figured he'd get it when he got 100 gas, but nope. Not so much. All right, so this is a 2-base play. No third base here from Bouchard. On the Terran side of things, 1-1 winning it into another barracks. So looks like we're going to go bio here today. Based on that timing in about 4 minutes. Has a bunker at the front. Worried about some Zerglings, but you know what? There's really nothing to worry about at all. Where's your third hatch? Third hatch to please get a third hatch. We're at 4.5 minutes. There's nothing stopping you from getting a third hatch. I guess you have a Baneling nest. Are you going for like a weird 2-base Baneling bust? I don't know what's happening here. Okay, third base at 4:30. Group spread is kind of awesome. This Overlord spread is also really fantastic out of Bouchard. I like it very much. Like, really no complaints about this Overlord spread whatsoever. Which is why a lot of Terran players will get a Viking. Oh, we're going Cloak Banshee. Oh, no, Hyperflight Rotor Banshee. Alright, so Cloak's already done. Banshee's going to try to get some stuff done here. Is getting, 2 kills, 3 kills. That's a 4th kill. I mean, this is pretty good opening here from Squid Cookies, I gotta say. It's not bad. Maybe get a queen. Ah, nope, pulling into range. That detection range on that spore is a problem, so get on out. Also, Hyperflight indicates we're going to see several Banshees here. You don't make 2 Banshees to get Hyperflight. Oh my gosh, can they take down this hatch? Where's your detection? Okay, are you making an Overseer? No. Do you have an Overseer? No. Guys? Ah, that Banshee gets taken down by a Spore. That's a problem. That should not have probably happened to that Banshee. Should have moved over here and kept firing. This Spore moving up. It probably has enough time to save the hatch. Get out of there, Banshee. There's a Spore burrowing. Okay, Banshee dies. So both Banshees are dead. They never got Hyperflight Rotor. I can't imagine we're going to... Okay, another Banshee is on the way. I can't imagine we're going to... That's going to be the end of your Banshee production, but there's really only one starport. Usually if someone's going Hyperflight, there's a couple starports, and you're probably got Banshees fast because you want a lot of Banshees because you want to take advantage of that upgrade you got. Finally, some Overseers coming in. I think Bouchard remembered that Overseers exist. I mean, both players are at 170 APM, so it's not like this is Silver League, you know? I think both of them are at least Diamond would be my guess. Maybe Diamond 3, maybe Diamond 2 seems about right based on what we're seeing here, but a couple of mistakes. The macro's pretty good from both players. They're spending money pretty effectively here on Dathora. And combat shields coming up, +1 attack coming up. I mean, players are doing some good things. Some drones have died so far. 5 drones in total have gone down, but he's replacing them pretty effectively. He's back up to 41 workers, which is not where you want to be at 7 minutes, but being on 3 bases, and now he's at 52. Okay, so 52 workers, much more comfortable. There really wasn't follow-up from Squid Cookies. Usually, if you're going to do Banshees and kill some stuff, send some Hellions out to follow it up. Maybe just a Marine push. Like, we have a lot of Marines here that are just playing base defense, along with some Widow Mines. He is really worried about the Zerg player coming to murder him, which, I mean, it's a 4-basing Zerg player. I guess there's a timing that could show up to kill you now. But I think you need to be the one stopping this creep spread, because the creep is getting a little bit out of hand. That's another base from Bouchard. 5 bases here from Bouchard is fan-frigging-tastic. Wow, concussive shell on the way. Air weapons level 1 coming in here for the Banshees, which we are building, yes? Yeah, 3 here, and there's 1 over here. All right, so Banshee hit squad's going to be a thing here soon, and I don't know. I think it forces a Spire out of the Zerg player. I do. I don't know if you can handle Hyperflight Rotor Banshees with just Queens, or say just Hydras, which 10 Hydras are on the way. You kind of need Mutalisks to handle them at some point, just because you need the speed and the fact that they can fly. That's a good combination here. 3rd base done for Squid Cookies. 4th base coming up at the 12 o'clock position. The Banshees are moving out and heading towards a base that just now got constructed. That Queen's dead. Double 2 volleys from these 5 Banshees, enough to take her down. Meanwhile, Overseer scouts in and says, yes, bio, excellent, wonderful, good to know. The entire army comes to deal with these Banshees, but I don't know if there's enough time to save this hatch, and there is not. Absolutely not. There are some Hydras here, but I'm not sure if there are enough Hydras. The Queen's getting wrecked pretty effectively. The Banshees do get out after 2 of them go down. Hydra DPS is insanely good, in fairness. Banshees with Hyperflight taking advantage of the speed, sort of flying into a Spore Crawler a little bit there. Trying to find an angle where there's no detection. The Overseers are over here. Overseers, you need to be over here. There we go. So the Queens can actually shoot at you. So it saves the Extractor. Banshee is trying to find other angles, stuff to kill. A lot of Spores under construction or just in random spots here inside the main base. I mean, you kind of have to pick a target here if you're Banshees. I like the idea of killing drones. I like the idea of killing Spores. I like the idea of killing the spawning pool, but you can't do all of them, because you're not gonna do a full, fully take care of any of those things. Anyway, Banshee's hanging out. It's a Ron Swanson quote, right? I'm not going to quote it here particularly for the profanity concerns, but I think Ron Swanson fans would know what I'm talking about. If you ask, I'll go ahead and respond with a clip of it in a comment here. Again, I read every comment anyone ever makes, because ta-da. Also, if you're watching this, you're probably a lower level player, right? You can sign up for the $200 Falcon Paladin StarCraft 2 Open. That's going to come this Sunday. There's a link in the description to sign up. It's on Challenge. You have to make an account, but it's pretty easy. You can link it to your Twitch or your Facebook or Google or whatever. It doesn't take much time. And then you sign up and you show up on one day at 3 p.m. Eastern in the Americas server on StarCraft 2. And you join the Falcon Paladin channel, which is easy. You just do /join Falcon Paladin, and then you'll be there with other people. Probably some of them are going to be your opponents, and we'll get this thing figured out. Again, $200 prize pool. It was a result of a Patreon goal that I set for myself about 3 or 4 years ago that I finally reached. So I'm very happy about that goal. And if you want to participate in the tournament, maybe win some money, check it out. Link in the description. All right, big army. Squid Cookies, man. Maxed out. QC Bouchard not maxed out. He's got a Roach Hydra Baneling army, which I don't know I necessarily love here from the Zerg. It's like you have some splash damage, but I don't know if it's enough. Tanks are so ready to go. Look at the tanks. They're like, hey, come over here. There's tanks. Also, this skin makes the tanks look like... So you know in the StarCraft 2 campaign where you have mercenary tanks that you can purchase and then buy during missions, and they're big and beefy and really powerful compared to regular tanks? These look like mercenary tanks. They're not. They do the same amount of damage that regular tanks do, but man, they look way more intimidating when they have this skin up. It's a really nice skin. The red and the black look really good together, in my opinion. Anyway, are we coming down the ramp? I don't know if that's a great idea. There's a lot of Zerg down there and creep too. Changelings wander up, and Squid Cookies did not immediately kill them. So that's how you know this isn't a pro level game, is the Changelings are alive at this stage instead of being totally dead at this stage. Ah, we do have Lurker Tech, though. All right. Banelings getting some decent hits. But chasing... Oh, the Lurker Spine's doing a ton of work there. Okay. All right. 4 kills, 7 kills, 5 kills, 10 kills on that front Lurker. Okay. The splash damage versus bio Lurkers will count. They absolutely count. Banelings and Lurkers, 44 Lings in production. I assume those will be Banelings at some point. The counterattack from Bouchard... So here's the deal. This base is entirely undefended. Like, I don't know that Bouchard knows it. He knows it exists. Also, the Banshees are back, trying to take down that hatch they killed a while ago. Coming up this ramp, the Overseers! Ooh, almost dying, but one Overseer remains. Lings, Hydras, Roaches, Lurkers, absolutely destroying this front door of Squid Cookies. Oh no, Squid Cookies. Oh, this is looking really bad for you, Squid Cookies. Not enough bio here to handle the Lurkers, the Hydras, the Roaches, the Lings. What a composition here from Bouchard. The Lurkers are going to get this refinery, probably. The Hydras could turn around and go after these Vikings for sure. The high ground tank is causing some problems. Responding tank's causing some problems. We're just running, I guess. I mean, you could kill these Banshees if you want, Hydras. All right, so Banshee down and Banshee down. Lurkers problematic. Oh, this planetary. Bring the Lurkers over. Yes. Brought the Lurkers over to the planetary. The Lings are trying to take it down, but with the Lurker splash now, it's much more possible. And yes, it does get wiped out there. A lot of SCVs dying. Are we going to let these guys live? Wow, those 2 SCVs. Luckiest SCVs in a StarCraft 2 cast of some time now. Holy smokes, I can't believe those guys are alive. All right, so base down, awesome. Hasn't lost a base yet, Mr. Bouchard. Just kidding. We did lose this one, but it's back, even if it is severely injured. How did it... I'm assuming those Banshees were going to kill it, and then they got called back home to deal with the huge attack at the front door. So Orbital Command burning down. I assume Squid Cookies will be repairing that eventually, but it's 118 to 85 total army supply. Bouchard looking okay. If I were him, I'd incorporate more Banelings, to be honest with you. This is a largely bio force with a couple of tanks. I mean, these tanks are here. Look at how alone these tanks are. Usually alone tanks get absolutely destroyed. But you know what? These are lucky boys. These are lucky tank commanders, and they're fine. We are coming up with some support to make sure they don't die. However, this high ground seems to be a favorite position of Squid Cookies. These SCVs got healed up and continue long-distance mining. They are commanded to mine. Ooh, the tanks firing upon creep tumors and whatnot. Another base on the left side by Squid Cookies coming up. Another base here from Bouchard. This is really turning into one heck of a macro game, I gotta say. Army supply virtually even. Workers, way more workers for Bouchard, though. He's up 50 total supply. Don't go up. Do not go up this ramp, Bouchard. Do not do it. Going up a ramp to an entrenched tank's position from Terran is the suicidal move. Look at Eversea. Don't even think about it. Also, Squid Cookies needs to expand up here. He's sitting on 4,000 minerals. Oh man, instant death on this here 4th base. Okay, goodbye. Actually, this might be the 5th, and that's the 6th. The numbers are hard. It's fine. It's a lot of bases, though. And revenge of the Banelings all over those Terran units. Coming up the ramp, what did we talk about? Ah, wow. Hero tanks, man. 15 kills, 9 kills, 15 kills, 15 kills. This is what I'm talking about. These tanks with this skin, they seem better than average tanks. They're not. They shouldn't be, but they're performing better. Look at them getting... Oh my goodness, they're killing drones with these. Okay, that's not weird. He's going to siege up wreck these lurkers real fast. Auto turrets helping with that too. 18 kills on those each. Oh, the natural enemy of the tank is here though. Oh, every one of those tanks had about 20 kills, it feels like. Squid Cookie's coming down. He was almost there to support the tanks. That might have been, not a GG, but that would have been a tough position for Bouchard to get rid of with just Lings, man. He is making some Banelings. But when there's a Terran army sitting on top of these Banelings, some of them came out, and the tank absorbed a lot of those hits. Again, Banelings were recently nerfed to do less damage to non-light units, which tanks are. I think a Raven just died to spores. Ravens, man, little flimsy. I think there was an Up-a-Tree Zelda Twitch clip the other day about how terrible Ravens are. Because if you look at them wrong, they die. And, you know, not a wrong idea there. Bouchard re-expanding up this way. He's lost 2, taking 1, has killed 1 that Squid Cookies has not replanted for reasons that he's probably been microing on the front door the whole time, and okay, fair enough. We've got some Infestors in play, though. I do like the Infestor play. Did he get Pathogen Glands? No. There are no Pathogen Glands at all, which, if you don't know what Pathogen Glands is, I don't blame you. We haven't seen it used a lot in recent months and years. But basically, Pathogen Glands means if you start it at the infestation pit and then let it get halfway complete before you make your infestors, they'll pop with the upgrade, which gives them additional starting energy on upgrade or on birth for those infestors, so they can actually cast a fungal immediately instead of waiting to get the energy to get to that point. So we got +3 infantry armor coming up, range upgrades for the lurkers. I love that very much, and just more and more infestors here. I don't. We'll see if this works out. We'll see if this works for our friend Bouchard here. Engagement. I don't like the Zerg position. Ooh, some nice fungals. Not bad. Baneling's kind of stuck in the back, though. Not doing a lot. Trying to heal up the damage. Oh, but the lurkers, though. Oh, my gosh, but the lurkers and the Banelings. Ah, Squid Cookies. Okay, additional hero tanks. 16 kill tank gets wiped out. This Infestor wanders into everyone and gets murdered there, so bad times for sure. Terrible stuff. Hey, look, he's retaking the 12 o'clock. Good job, Squid Cookies. You're my hero. So 29,000 resources lost for Bouchard. 23,000 for Squid Cookies. Still, okay, so thinking about replanting this here 7th base along the bottom side. Not really concerned about this one, though. I assume it's because there's only about 1,000 gas left and maybe a couple thousand minerals. I don't know. I'd replant a hatch there. Hatches are cheap. They're only 300 minerals. The investment is not bad for a nice return. I don't think that is centered based on the circle here. That's okay, Bouchard. Hey, what are we doing? Changelings joining the party against Squid Cookies is not Maru, so he doesn't recognize that they're Changeling instantly and murder them all. Another base from Squid Cookies. Ah, so the Changelings were just, they were a scouting ahead party. Oh, but there's a drop. There's a drop headed up to the north. It's flying over creep, so Bouchard, if he's got map awareness, should be able to see this coming. And, okay, not responding. Cool. So the drop here does get a couple drones, but a decent drone pull there from Bouchard. Banelings, ahoy! Boy, that was horrible stuff. And the medevacs all die because we have queens and hydras in the mix. Also some, I think, fungal caught those guys as well. Rough stuff indeed. Okay, so this, again, this off-center base exists. It's better than not having a base, I suppose. I don't know. Place your bets. Who's going to win this thing? We're even on workers. Army supply is a little bit down for Zerg, but I think he's okay. He's got a decent bank here. Squid Cookies does too. Squid's been spending his money well. He had a giant bank. He doesn't have a giant bank anymore. Yeah, no. That tank was almost free, but he's got 9 kills now. Infestors alive. I'm surprised by this. Infestors, even if pros use them, tend to die real fast. They're very squishy. Kind of like Ravens are. I mean, here's the thing. All casters are squishy to, like, bypass or compensate for the fact that they're incredibly powerful. Squid Cookie says, I'm going to head back over this way. I've really enjoyed setting up here. Oh, that was off-center, and then he fixed it. You see that? He totally saw that. Alright, so he's going to expand to this double Vespine gas base and set up on the high ground here. Pathogen Glands is done now that all the infestors are here. That's cool, I guess. Run, lurkers! No! One of them dies. That quick burrow is so good. Lings, again, if Lings can buffer for the lurkers and give the Marines something else to shoot at, lurkers are really great. Raven tossing down an auto turret, killing some of them creep tumors, getting murdered by a lurker there too. Man, we're 23 minutes into this thing. 192 to 130 supply. All right, Squid Cookies, I feel like should win this thing. He's got a decent economy. I think he's got as many bases as the Zerg player does. The income right now is about even with more gas income for Squid Cookies. So, free overseers, I guess. Yeah, Squid Cookies is in a position to win this game without question. Absolutely. Look at this. Got a big scary army. Ooh, there are some Vipers in production. That could change things, I guess. He's got 3/3 for his bio. Hyperflight rotors for the 0 Banshees that he owns right now. Yeah, man, look at this. He's got 4 mining sources of income right now. Bouchard is at kind of 2. Income has really got to be... Yeah, look at this. It's doubled up. More than doubled up. Income for Terran at the moment. That is not good for Bouchard. I don't know which one of these players is a patron. I don't know who to be rooting for, but... It really does seem like... Oh, free tank, though. It really does seem like the Terran player should be able to get this thing, but a lot of SCVs are going down here at this 4th base. In fact, all of them will die. They're not lucky Oh, you know what? This one is. I think that's the same SCV from before. He gets saved because the Lings got greedy and went up this ramp instead of just murdering everything at this base. That's amazing. Drop! This base is going to die again for the 2nd time today. Man, no rich Vespine gas for you. Also, Quick doesn't care about it either. He should. He has less gas than minerals, but he's pretty well stocked on both at this point in time. Parasitic bomb. Oh, 2 full medevacs, both parasitic bombed. Does he think that kills them? Because he's not following up on this at all. It doesn't. It almost does. Especially if they're together for any length of time, but... Oh, then the Vipers run over... Oh, wow, bait. Okay, everybody died in the end anyway. Bouchard got his victory. Are we going to take every base? Every base in the map is taken right now. Every base on Dathora is taken right now. That's fantastic. I love the purple. I'm telling you. I love the purple. I love that it comes out the top of the refinery like that. Bouchard replaces the base that died over here, but as far as... I don't know, man. Like, Squid Cookies is not super great at making SCVs. You remember? God, I forgot his name already. You remember the Terran in the last game with the Terran who just never stopped making SCVs the entire game? Squid Cookies is not that Terran. He's got 55, and he has lost 34. So he's made about 80. But in a game like this, I really feel like making 100 SCVs to replace the ones that you lost is great. Coming up the ramp, Blinding Cloud. Playing a good piece here, but he kind of ran out of units. Other than the Vipers. And the Fungals are great, but you know what's great is also healing. So that went terribly. I think Squid Cookies has this game. I mean, this is a really nice Ling Baneling run by coming up here. Everyone's going to die. You did not leave enough bio to really make this happen. +2 attack Lings with +2 armor with no adrenal gland. He's getting +3 armor. I'm not sure that Bouchard knows about adrenal gland, or just completely forgot about it. And then I love this planetary. The Banelings are just like, we got this. That's a burned down supply depot. That's a burned down supply depot, but I think Squid Cookies has enough supply. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, at this point, we're looking at 167 to 113. Total supply. Squid Cookies is way up. Bouchard is making queens with his money and Vipers and 16 Banelings and droning up, which droning up, I guess the Banelings can probably get rid of this. Droning up for after seems fine. Yeah, these tanks, again, the tanks for Squid Cookies today, I just feel like are better than your, oh, free queen. Better than your average tanks. Smarter than your average bear. Look at him saturating this base with no defense at all, mind you. None. So, like, if Squid Cookies wanted to kill this, he absolutely could. He doesn't know it exists, though. He thinks he's killed it, and it has remained dead, which do not ever assume that about bases in StarCraft. Do not assume a base that you killed personally has stayed dead in the last 5 minutes since you destroyed it. Recommendation of the day. Okay, well, we're at 30 minutes here, and eventually we're going to mine out the base, and that's when things will get interesting. But again, there was a really nice window there where I think Squid Cookies was really ahead, and I think he should have kept pushing. I really do, but free Hydras are, you know, free Hydras. I'll take them. Never mind, that guy escaped with 4 HP. Really wants to kill this base. I'm not convinced that's going to happen. All these tanks are just being allowed to just shell things. This group does not. They are not the special tanks of today. Not even close. Dun, 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 dun. Again, he really wants to kill this southern hatch. He's not going to get it, though. There's just too much Zerg here. The tank's continuing to rack up kills, though. 17 kill tank, man. I don't think tanks get 17 kills on average in a deployment in a StarCraft 2 game at all. Oh, okay. Their one weakness is slings and abducting. Do we have enough to get... if the lurkers get up here, get the lurkers up here, Bouchard. You need Blinding Cloud. No. So, okay. So it can still attack the lings because they are not... they're in melee range. I think these lurkers might be in melee range too, actually, which is not great, but it doesn't matter. Lurker damage versus armored is nuts. And +3 attack will attest. 46 lings in production. Trying to handle this. It's a handful of lings and some banelings. Oh, that was beautiful. He was bringing the lings around the backside so the banelings would hit them and there's nowhere to run, but he forgot about the verticality factor here, to where medevacs can fly. Vipers, come parasitic bomb these guys. They feel like they're untouchable. I like how there are double Spire, and I don't think our Zerg player has made a single Mutalisk or Corruptor in this entire game. No, he has not. He made double Spire at some point. And he hasn't made Mutas or Corruptors a single friggin' time. Oh, Abduct and Blinding Cloud and Parasitic Bomb. Well, aren't we just using all of the spells here today? How many medevacs have died? Remember, we like to keep track of how many medevacs have died in a game. 17 have gone down. There are still 10. Squid Cookies is kind of turtling up a bit here, yo. He's, I mean, that's a planetary. This is a orbital walled off by a planetary and perhaps walled off by another planetary. Overall, considering we kind of split the map in half here and Squid Cookies has been more cost efficient with his stuff, as a Terran's going to be, I still think Squid might have this. At the same time, Bouchard's up 193 to 180 total supply. He's got 72 workers to 34. You get scanned and skedaddles on out of there, as you do. Ultralisk Cavern. Oh, okay. I'm down with an Ultra Cavern. Fusion Core. Are we going Battle Cruisers and Ultras at the 32-minute mark of this game? Is that what's happening? No, this drop is Forsaken. It is a Forsaken drop. Parasitic Bomb. Is it running from Parasitic Bomb? It should. Oh. Oh. 16 HP. Oh. Get him now. Parasitic Bomb. Guys, but seriously, that's okay. So we Blinding Cloud, abducts 3 inches. Parasitic Bomb! Oh my gosh. Alright, well this hatch is going down because Bouchard, for some reason, abducted a medevac instead of parasitic bombing it and killing them both. Not that it would have really helped against this tank or these Marines and Marauders, but hey. The medevacs would be dead, and they have a lot of energy with which they are healing quite nicely over here. Army supply, look at this. Army supply 153 to 118, but Squid Cookies is at 12 SCVs. 12 SCVs is a bad number. Dude, Squid Cookies had this game. If he loses it, I'm going to be shocked. But you know what? It's entirely possible he does. Right now, Bouchard's army composition is kind of insane. That's a double planetary setup. How do you even... Guess you blinding cloud them and bring hydras and lurkers over. Careful, don't bring the lurkers right into them. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so Lings are on top of your tanks. Both planetaries go down, moving into this really not saturated orbital command base at all. And that's another problem for Bouchard, is you just use a lot of your army to take down 2 planetaries, which means you don't have enough army to handle these dudes. The cost effectiveness, man. It's what it's all about. This base gets wrecked by lurkers just wandering over this way. Squid Cookies down to 10 SCVs, of which I think... Is this all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's another one somewhere. These 2 are building. Okay. Alright. Squid Cookies with 10 SCVs and a mission. I kind of feel like he needs to win with this push. Dude, Bouchard's making a greater spire. And 11 corruptors in fairness. This is a good game. Again, whoever sent this in, thank you. Thanks for being a patron, and thanks for sending this game in. This is fantastic. This is a really stupid close match. I like it. APM is getting higher for Bouchard as the game goes on. An average of 230. Squid Cookies have been consistently 170, which is fine at this level. It really doesn't need to be faster than that. And honestly, there are pros that run at 170, 200 APM anyway, so... I don't know about... Okay, well, here come the Banelings and the Ultralisks, and the tanks are firing! Not enough Blinding Cloud, and not enough there to take down that army, entrenched as it was. And Bouchard's down to 83 armor supply with 32 Lings in production. And a Greater Spire. Are his Corruptors alive? He has Corruptors. He can afford to make some of them into Broodlords. If he wants to. He still has gas over here. Put these 2 drones onto gas, yo. And the Lurker really caught. 20 kill Lurker. Blech. 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 28 kill Lurker, but the tank finishes it off. This game is bonkers. Oh, you have to get the tank. If you abduct the tank, you really have to kill the tank. That works. That totally works. He's using gas on Banelings. I kind of feel like Broodlords would be a decent complement to your composition here. I really do. Oh boy. Coming up the left side, this Lurker versus Lurker wins, but an assist from the bio means the Lurker goes down. He's really burning the minerals off of this base and the gas, but you know what? It's dead because Bouchard has no idea where the Terran army is. So we get out of there. I love the drones carrying the rich Vespene gas. Don't die, drone carrying rich Vespene gas. Look at the glow. It's so pretty. Meanwhile, again, I feel like Banelings would have been awesome, or Broodlords would have been awesome. Banelings are fine. Oh, bases. This rampage of Squid Cookies is a rampage, man. You have 500 gas. Just make like 4 Broodlords and bring them with you to take this down. It is very Marauder heavy right now. We are looking at 32 Marauders and 26 Marines. It's a very, very Marauder heavy composition. The Banelings are not going to be as good. The Lurkers might be good. Is there anything to abduct there? No, there's no tanks, I guess. Ooh, yes. Parasitic Bomb on the Medivacs. You're harming your fellow I don't think he sees this. Wow. Okay, so kills the Medivac, brings the other 2 to very low HP. If the Medivacs die, this army gets a lot less scary. Yeah, this game is awesome. I am thoroughly enjoying this. Seriously, though, instead of making more Corruptors, why don't we make some Broodlords, though? Oh, he did. He did. He made some Broodlord. There's 3 of them. Okay, so then you make Broodlings. Wait. Bait him into the Lurkers. Bait him into the Lurkers. Parasitic Bomb again. Yes. Okay. Bam, bam, and bam. Okay, Medivacs are gone. There are 6 on the field somewhere, though. So by gone, I mean they're around. Oh. All right, fair enough. Medevac's joining the group, turtling up a little bit here. Bouchard is down to 136 minerals. He's got 43 drones. I don't know. A lot of them are hanging out instead of doing stuff, which if you're going to win a game of StarCraft, your workers in general need to be doing stuff instead of just hanging out on the creep. Oh, the lurkers just got picked off. Just through map awareness purposes. The Ultras and Banelings are trying to do it, but Ultras are good. They are not that good. Broodlords from behind, though. Corruptors taking out the Medevac's army supply for Squid Cookies is 17 after that. He didn't keep scanning for the lurkers. 18, 17, and 16 kills on these lurkers. Are you kidding? And a good game. Well played. Bouchard is your winner. Oh, man. Is that what it was? That final engagement was the lurkers didn't get target fired. Dude, everything was dead. That Zerg army, the Banelings did some good work. The Ultras did some work. But they died, and then the lurkers remained. There wasn't a further scan, plus the Broodlords coming from behind, plus the Corruptors on the Medevacs. And it's 60 to 17 army supply, and Squid Cookies taps out. Amazing. Amazing game. That was great. I mean, shoot. Boy, I don't know. What a game. That was... I really wish I could have cast that as just a regular match, but as part of this, it's good too. I should split it out. I should split it out and throw it up. We'll see. I mean, look, 67 resources lost to 60,000 for the Terran. That's insane. 10 hatcheries killed. 4 planetaries, N orbital, 83 SCVs, and 64 drones. It was a just complete bloodbath all the way across there. So thanks for sending that in. I assume Bouchard sent that in. Really great game, man. Or woman, or whoever you happen to be. Thank you so much for letting me cast that one. It means a lot. All right, let's keep going. We have so much more to go here today, including some Brood War if you're into that. So hit that like button, stick with it. We'll be right back. We're on Submarine and back on the PvT train. Bottom right, it is Mac Winston. He's a red Protoss player. And in the top left, we've got a blue Terran player, Father Ted. Gonna be good stuff here on Submarine. It's kind of a rushy map because of the short rush distance. And let's see if somebody cannon rushes here. Usually people don't send me cannon rushes for their Patreon cast, but you never know what should be sent. What is this conversation? Shouldn't that be feck? Right, women's knickas. What are we? Are we English all of a sudden? Where's my message log? Have fun, etc. Shouldn't that be feck? Right, women's knickas. Apparently we're Canada or something. We're English speakers who also know French. Saturate that gas, please. Thank you, Mac Winston. Well done. Gateway coming up at home. Terran guide. Making a barracks. Into an expansion here. Actually, that was a command center first. I love it, Father Ted. I really like it. Especially if you SCV scout and see what's going on. If your expansion is that much faster than your opponents, you are in a great position. Just a wonderful position. Oh my gosh, the barracks though. Oh, we're going no gas, 4 racks in base, 2 base. Oh, the probe scouts all of it. Beautiful, Mac Winston. Good scout. You really can't ask for more than that good scout right there. And he's bringing the SCVs with him. No transferring. Okay, main earning down there. Okay, so at this point, you want cannons and shield batteries. I think these are the 2 things you want if you're a Protoss player and a million Marines without upgrades are coming at you, right? If these are upgraded Marines, you want splash damage. But if you don't have enough time to tech up to a ton of splash damage, because you don't here, and if they don't have upgrades, because they don't, cannons with shield batteries trade stupid well against Marines. You put the shield batteries behind the cannons so they can't get target fired down. And then you say, come on in, set the spider to the fly. It's late. It is late for this. It is a little bit late for what you're trying to do here, friendos. God, the Marine damage, even unupgraded, is really nice on these guys. Probes coming, trying to buffer a little bit. Shield battery, keeping the probes alive a little bit longer than normally they would. And you know what? Defensive warpins and absolutely no micro from Father Ted means these Marines are gone. So, a lot of probes died there. 10 of them went down. That seems bad. But Father Ted, you know what he's doing? He is not discouraged. He's continuing to pump Marines like there is no tomorrow. He's getting some gas as well, which he's using for ostensibly upgrades, but there aren't any upgrades coming in yet. If you're, if you're getting gas, please use it for something. I guess he's starting a factory. That's cool. Hey, the guy with 4 racks has a lot more Marines. It's a bit of a surprise, I guess, but putting pressure on your opponent when you don't want them to come kill you is not a bad idea. I will support that. Also, I'm not kidding. Cannons and shield batteries with these dudes. These are unupgraded Marines. We're not getting +1. We're getting combat shield. That helps a little bit for the Marines. And oh my, double Ghost Academy Batman. Father Ted is going double Ghost Academy on 2 bases. I am sort of in love with this. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and the tanks are using gas too. So fine. You're getting gas for the ghosts and maybe nukes. We could get nukes here. I would not say no to some nuclear missiles, friends. I don't know why I guess the factory's out here because there's not a lot of room left in the main, I guess. Probably toss it down here if he wanted. And it's Cloak, first of all, from the Ghost Academy. We're going to try to Warp Prism in here and do some shenanigans if you're Mac Winston. He's going for Colossus with Extended Thermal Lance, which I love. Like, absolutely love here. And he's going to drop in the main with a bunch of Stalkers and see what he can do. And what he's going to do is maybe kill a Ghost. Nope, Ghost moving out. Stalker's not really in a position to fire much here. Yeah, again, Stalkers, fine, good for harassment. They will not stand up against Bio, as we've seen recently. Man, this has been a long cast. Although I will tell you a secret. I was casting that last game, and then my power went out mid-cast, which completely invalidated the entire recording. And I had to recast it and then get this thing started the next day. So it's actually not one long marathon casting session. And it means I'm going to have to post this on September 1st instead of August 31st, which I'm bummed about. But hey, we got it done. Third base coming in from Mac Winston. Third base coming in from Father Ted. Which, is Father Ted a specific priest? I feel like it's a specific priest in a TV show. Or a movie. I'm sure somebody knows. And there are nukes, by the way. So here they are. They're good. Don't nuke an unfinished base. That's a waste of nukes. Nuke this. This would be such a good nuke thing. Or maybe, fine. This would be kind of cool, too. Maybe scan up there, right? Get your nuke. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So he scans. And, all right. Double nuke-orama. I still feel like nuking here would have been awesome. He's moving his army, though. Because he's like, my army's getting nuked. I'm just going to move them out of default. Get out of there, ghosts. Don't die, ghosts. Ugh. Okay, they stayed alive. Awesome. Cybernetics core somehow still lives because Protoss buildings are beefy. The beefiest. More nukes in production. Giant Marine ball over here. The Marines do have +1 attack and combat shield and stim and no medevacs. So we have a lot of the pieces we need. This Colossus has a lot of work to do, though. Bwop, bwop, bwop. Whoop. Nope, it's dead. Okay, that's a lot of Marines. More splash damage required. And cannons, again, would be great here. The overstimming, though, without medevacs to heal it up, these Marines are not as scary as they otherwise really, really should be. In fact, he's running from here. when he had kind of a decent position. If he had some medevacs healing these guys, I think he wins that fight. But completely neglecting medevacs has really ruined him at this point. Meanwhile, we have a couple nukes. We have a couple ghosts. They have some energy. I think they remain cloak all the way back home, which drains energy quite badly. But, yeah, more pylons up here. Just additional gateways to replace the ones that died. Getting these upgrades. 1-1 is great for the Protoss. And really, more Colossus would be incredible here. Like, 1 Colossus, yeah, not as good. But 3, 4 Colossus? Oh, yes. That would destroy a large number of Marines. Even if they had Stim. Even if they had Combat Shield, as they do. A 3rd Ghost? Wow. A 3rd Ghost Academy from Father Ted is coming up. Where, though? Right, down. Oh. A 4th Ghost Academy is coming up for Father Ted. Alright, we're going to get rid of this Terran on our doorstep, which is super annoying. And lo, it worked. The whole army is dead. Father Ted didn't really do much to try and save them there, which is unfortunate. That's okay. I do like the StarCraft 2 soundtrack. I think I like Brood War better. I'm not sure if that's nostalgia talking or not, but 2 is good. Mac Winston attempting more Warp Prism shenanigans, but there are turrets! No! Lost it. Oh my gosh. That is the deadest robo facility in the history of anything. Trying to make... And he's out. He's had practice with these ghosts. He doesn't let them die. Every production facility in the entire main base of Mac Winston is dead. He's got some tech structures, but no production facilities here. He's been... Look at this action. Wait, what? Does he have more? He doesn't have ghosts yet. Why would you make the Protoss guy aware? Oh, no! Oh, no! Every ghost just got killed. Just kidding. He has 4 more. We're fine. What do I worry about these things? I really shouldn't worry about these things. And, okay, Marines, again, without any support from medevacs, have wandered in, and they're going to try to take down the Nexus, which they might be able to... Actually, they got it. Because Marine damage output is insane with +2 attack and Stim. They all died, but they accomplished their mission. So, where are we? Army supply, Terran advantage, worker supply, Protoss advantage, but just lost a base. So some of that advantage on worker count is long-distance mining, which is not ideal. So if we look at income... It is better for Mac Winston, but only by about 400 minerals per minute instead of what you'd expect with this kind of a worker advantage because of the missing base. Bleh. God, those nukes, though. Those nukes, though. Bum, bum. Storm in production, loving that. Dark Templars in production. Well, Dark Shrine in production, rather. Oh, the High Templar, though. Get out of there, High Templar! They got out of there. And all of the... Jeez. I kind of love this quad nuke policy that Father Ted has. Okay, all of the ghosts died. He hasn't made any more, but he is replacing his nukes. This is a fun game. I like it, Mac Winston. I'm liking this one. Alright, Army Supply is 81 to 87, but it's 63 Marines and 5 tanks versus 2 Colossus, 5 High Templar with Storm, and the tanks are gone. So I think this might be GG. This might be Mac Winston. If these armies directly faced off against each other right now, this would be a Terran win, or a Protoss win, especially with the Storm command center down. Keep pushing. Look, if your opponent doesn't respond to you at all, to you killing one of their bases, you probably have a distinct advantage. And you should push a little bit and see what you can do. I mean, I like the idea of expanding while you're attacking and then coming back to defend it. Sure, I don't have any complaints there, but like, I think this game's over if you just go. These Marines are effectively worthless. They have no medevacs at all. There's only 2 tanks, 3 tanks. There are no ghosts for EMP or anything else. This army is distinctly superior to Father Ted's army. You're letting him expand other places here. There, again, in a lot of these games that I cast, there are these windows where you could have won. You could have definitively won, right? But you didn't take advantage of the window, and so you lost instead. It's really insane. StarCraft is a great game that way. All right. Charge lots. I like the charge lots. Bring the Colossus are slow. These Marines are actually move commanding. Oh, no, now they're attacking. And then a Storm. Yeah, see what I said about these Marines just getting obliterated. Army Supply is only 52 now for Father Ted. These Colossus, 15 and 14 kills each. This is what I'm talking about. He cancels this base attempt, which is smart. It was dead anyway. Push! I don't know if you have the Immortal count to handle a planetary, but we're going for it anyway. I love the nuke attempt here from Father Ted. He might actually land it, because I don't... Oh my gosh, I don't think that there's any detection here. Oh no! Oh, the dodge! The last second accidental dodge! Wow, it's safe. Wow, he did not see that. He does not have detection at all. Ooh, that nuke lands. Helps kill one of the Colossus. That guy's got 17 kills of his own. Is he bringing detection? He's got observers. They're just elsewhere at the moment. They're not interested in coming along to join the ride. This is the nukiest game I've cast since casting Avalo versus Pig. I want to say last year. That was a big one. 18 kill Ghost Man. These guys are being detected and therefore murdered. This one is like, all right, peace. I'm out of here. My gosh, he's going to have 4 nukes all to himself here in a minute. All right, you have detection with your army now. Let's go, Mac Winston. I know you might be worried about EMPs with your Archons, but trust me, EMP is the furthest thing from Father Ted's mind right now. He is going ghosts, and that's all he has to say about it. Yeah. Oh, you've replaced your mineral income there with probes already. That's nice. Yeah, I guess transferring a bunch from your natural helps. Getting this base up would be good too, but I love this timing. I love this decision to go now. So that command center is dead. Which means... Wait. No. It's only 2 tanks, though. And if I told you that they had +2 attack... Alright, +2 attack's pretty good. Throwing up cannons around the area so that Ghost won't be able to waltz in and just nuke his mineral line. I like it. You can't land back here, right? This is out of bounds. This is not landable area, even though it totally looks like it should be. Can you imagine if you could land a ghost back here and then nuke it? That'd be amazing. Father Ted is just floating command centers out everywhere. What is with Terrans and just non-stop building command centers? I mean, it's what the pros do. You'll notice they'll have a lot of command centers rolling too for extra mules and potential planetaries and stuff. Dude, this is so many nukes. This is a highly enjoyable match. You see the dot? I love how the trees burn. Kind of. Some of them don't. 2 more nukes in production. Again. I do feel like this game could be over right now. Like, tanks don't do that well versus Archons at all. Marines do. Which is why they're tearing through these Archons. But that's where your Storm comes in, and that's where your Colossus comes in. Yeah. There we go. All right. So these SCVs are down. But once again, Mac, you got to keep going, dude. You're wiping out these bases. You're killing these SCVs. You're letting some of them escape into the nether. There are literally 2 tanks and like 8 Marines. 6 Marines standing there. And Mac's like, a job well done. Which, it is a job well done. I'm not telling you it's not a job well done. But, oh, this is a problem. Okay. Well, a lot of probes dying there. That was a really nice little run by there. This Colossus has seen some stuff. Has 20 HP, 123 shields, and 34 kills. Not shabby at all. Army supply, though, 67 to 37. And if you're just looking to starve out the Terran, I mean, sure, killing this base, preventing this base is not an issue. Not going to be hard. It will be an issue for Father Ted. Somehow... Oh, okay. He just came around this right side. This time, Mac Winston is getting a nice tutorial on being aware of where nukes are going to land. It doesn't... You'll notice it doesn't show it in Mac Winston's view in the replay. It doesn't show the dot. I don't know if I ever realized that before. Remember how I was like cannons versus Marines without medics? Medivacs are pretty great. They're not bad. And then Zealots just chomping on their faces as well. Another nuke. Dude, Mac, get out of there. Never mind. Kill the ghost. Good game. Well played. Father Ted's out and Winston. Wow, Winston doesn't even really have to do anything. Father Ted with 1,600 minerals and 4,000 gas. I mean, he doesn't have to finish it for Mac Winston. He did kill bases, which was good. But he decided he didn't have enough, which, all right, 23 SCVs, 37 Army, had lost 26 SCVs. Really didn't make that many today. Mac Winston lost 60 and had 68 at the end. So, I mean, yeah, 120 probes is a good number. Those nukes, though. Tons of fun. All right, so thus ends the StarCraft 2 portion of today's Brood War StarCraft 2 Power Hour. So if you don't like Brood War, okay, this is it for you. But you know what? I recommend you stick around. It's pretty fun. Brood War is good stuff. And Falcon's casting it, right? Right. Absolutely. So that's it for this one. Let's keep going with some Brood War patron casts for August. And we'll be right back with those. Welcome to the Brood War portion of the Falcon Paladin StarCraft 2 Brood War Power Hour. It's going to be a fastest map sent to me by patron RJB. If you don't know who RJB is, you haven't been watching my channel for very long because he supplies me with very excellent replays. He has his own channel as well. Just search RJB StarCraft, and if you like fastest map, that's all he casts. If you want me to do more, then just check out RJB. All right. So here we have HamburgerSasu versus an unknown player of Terran origin. So here we go. Unknown player going by 159. It is the Gray Zerg player. Or rather, this is HamburgerSasu. And 159 is down here. He is the purple Terran player. So Terran versus Zerg here on fastest map. Should be fairly interesting. This was played November 2019. In case you're wondering when this was particularly played, I do get that question from time to time. And I would speed this up, but it's fastest map, and it's going to be fast enough as it is already. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up a hatchery at his choke at the front door. And then I'm assuming go for the spawning pool, because you really want that spawning pool fast as a Zerg player. I mean, you want a ton of hatches as well, but also you need to be able to deal with early rushes. And if you delay that spawning pool for too long, there will be Marines at your front door, and you will need to deal with them. Whether you make Zerglings or whether you make Sunkens at your choke, right? Right. There's a lot of Korean here, which I don't speak Korean. So if somebody wants to translate this, they are more than welcome to. I don't know what we're looking at, but this is a very aggressive bio opening here out of 159. He's not even getting gas at all. This is a ton of Marines. He's going to try to kill Hamburger fast, because I think HamburgerSasu, he's feared, right? He's a feared player in the StarCraft Brood War fastest map community. So if you can kill him faster, it's better for you, especially if he's playing Zerg, because Zerg, the further along in the game it gets, the more scary they are. So here we go. Pressure coming in. This hatch is going to finish, and then like creep colony now, which the SCV is trying to prevent. The SCV is trying to block that, and actually did chase off the drone here. Maybe he doesn't want to throw a creep colony down. He's got a handful of lings, which, you know, slow lings are pretty good against Marines, because Marines aren't fast, and slow lings are bad, but they're faster than Marines are, and they hit pretty hard, especially if there aren't any upgrades. So yeah, actually chasing that Marine out. He's going to wait for his buddies, and then are we really not going to creep this? And interesting, no creep colonies yet. I'm very surprised by this. Maybe it feels like he doesn't need it, but I mean, this is a 3 racks opening, which is trying to be hidden. 159 is trying to hide this, but the Ling comes in for the scout, sees the 3 racks, and says, okay, you know what? Let's get to a lair, but at the same time, we're going to need some defense. So I wouldn't be shocked to see this to become a creep colony, and then a sunken, yeah, and we're bringing another one to do the same thing. So probably, I would get 3, but we'll see what Hamburger does. I might be a little bit more cautious than he is. But finally getting some gas, finally working on an academy. He's not going to do just unupgraded Marines forever, because that would be stupid. Scouting SCV taken care of here in Hamburger's base. Lair coming up, and he's not going to make these Sunkens until he has to, right? These Lings are like, okay, I don't have to spend those resources on Sunkens until the army's moving out. And the army's moving out, which this Zergling totally sees. So is it 2 Sunkens enough? I guess there aren't any medics, and there is no stim. So that's a big deal as far as the damage output possible on these here Marines. So 2 seem to be enough for now for Hamburger. Oh, was it just a feint? It might have just been a feint here out of 159. And that's not a bad idea. Honestly, if you're playing a Zerg player, if you feign to attack them, it forces them to make units and spend resources on defenses they don't want to spend. And then if you don't attack, then, hey, no skin off your nose. You're still doing what you're doing, but you hurt them economically. So I don't know why more players don't do that, to be honest with you. I just feel like you can really hurt a Zerg player a whole bunch by feigning an attack, or feinting an attack, which spelled differently to a certain extent, but the same concept, really. And now we have medics, but now we have additional Sunkens. So yeah, 4 Sunkens here, 5 Sunkens here is going to be enough for sure. 159 has to get out of there, and he does. Let the tank production begin, possibly. Meanwhile, we're at 24 drones here for Hamburger. He's got his Spire coming up. He's got 3 gases rolling. He's going to be making some mutas for some old traditional muta harass. So let's see if 159 is prepared for this. If he's going to get an engineering bay for turrets. Yes, he is. Might get some wraiths, too. What I like about fastest map is you start seeing games that are non-standard, right? You see non-standard units in here all the time. I wouldn't be shocked to see things like Devourers. I wouldn't be shocked to see things like Wraiths. Just stuff that we normally don't see in TVZ. Because Fasces is its own animal. 8 mutas in production there from Hamburger. Engineering Bay is finishing up. You might need to keep these Marines and Medics at home for a little bit if these mutas show up. A lot more Sunkens at the front here. I kind of like this, although it is pretty bustable if you've got tanks. So the Mutos are not going to waste any time. As soon as they pop, they are making a beeline for this area. Turrets are under construction, but a little bit late. That said, the Mutos want this tank more than anything else, so they don't go for this area first when I feel like they could have got some real damage done. Now less damage as both turrets are complete. There's a dropship in production. A couple of medics getting picked off never hurt anyone either. If you happen to be Berserk player. So pretty good damage done there. I don't think many Mutalisks died at all. Maybe one or two went down. And overall, Hamburger's in a pretty good spot here. It's at 22 drones, 58 total supply. Sure, there's more of both for the Terran player, but the Terran is pinned in at home. He doesn't want to get out there because he's afraid of what might happen if he leaves. So he's at home for the foreseeable future, which means we can drone up, which means we can make macro hatches, which we're doing. We can get a hive. If you're HamburgerSasu, and you're not HamburgerSasu because you're probably not watching this. Yeah, it's very rare for the player who I'm casting to watch the casts. Or at least if they do, they don't comment on it. Okay, drop attempt doesn't get any drones. We're at 25 drones now, so a good attempt. Managing to sneak that in there when Hamburger was pretty aware of what's going on. Dude, this medic massacre is a problem for 159. He's down to 2 medics. He should have like 10 by now. He did have 10 at some point. What's he building? No, really, but what are you building? Yeah, okay, science vessels, cool. You know, if you're casting Brood War live, you can't see any of that. You can't see what buildings are making. You can't see what upgrades are upgrading. You can't see what's producing. You can't see what's inside dropships or inside overlords. You can't see the production tab. You don't have a worker count up here. It's nuts. Like, I understand this is because of the Brood War purists, right? These are the guys who they never had that. Watching Brood War all through the mid-2000s and late 2000s. And just because we shinied up the StarCraft and gave it a remastered tag doesn't mean we should give information to the viewer. And it... I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, at least make it available so you can turn it off, I guess? It's a very weird decision, I think, that Blizzard made, kind of caving to the hardcore Brood War fans, which I get it. I do. I get that that's how it's always been for Brood War, but, man. Quality of life stuff is a big deal. This is a pretty big, scary Marine tank army, although there's only one tank left after this one dies. Good irradiate, though. Ooh, good split. Really nice split out of Hamburger there. All right, so you have a tank to try to get through these Sunkens, but that's not going to work very well. It's very slow. So what that does, it just buys more time for Consume to finish, for Lurker Aspect to finish, for Greater Spire to finish. And for the Greater Spire to finish. Ah, Valkyries! I told you we'd see stuff we don't normally see. I did. I told you so. Alright, Science Vessel's coming in. They're looking for Defilers to irradiate, would be my guess. That's going to be their target here. But, Valkyries are popping. 10 Lurkers in production. That's what these eggs are down here. Hamburger down 127 and 97 total supply at 10 minutes. He's about to get huge. Oh, you cannot. You can't lose 2 science vessels like that. That was brutal. It wasn't for nothing, but geez. And we have Guardians. Yes? Yep. See, I told you. Guardians, Valkyries. All sorts of things happening in fastest map you don't get in regular games. That's for sure. Oh, that's a free science vessel. You have delved too deeply and too greedily, but did irradiate a Lurker, I guess. I'm assuming one of these guys got it. Yep, lucky Lurker. This guy got it. Oh, I think he was trying to get the Guardian and got the Lurker instead. Oh, unfortunate. That's really a problem. So Lurker dies. Guardians popping. Popping. Plague being researched here. We've got... I assume we have... That's a nice irradiate. Oh, gosh. Oh, the burrow, though. Oh, the burrow save. Dude, I would have just died to that. But he researched burrow, and burrowed units don't affect their neighbors. Ah, that's sick. That is such a sick play. Hamburger, that's why we like you. It is. Adrenal glands coming in. Marines making a run around to try to get past ye old Sunkens and doing pretty well with it. I mean, a lot of these guys are injured, but otherwise okay. But then the Lurkers arrive, and the Zerglings, and everybody dies. All right, so decent thought. Gosh. But every Marine who made that attempt died, even the ones that made it past the Sunkens, who thought they were lucky, but they were not. They were not. Goliaths here. Where are you hiding your Valkyries? Here they are. Valkyrie prepared. 6 of them out. With tanks. We are moving purely into a mech strategy here for 159. So the Guardians arrive, and the Marines, can they get... I don't think they're going to get a single Guardian. I really don't. They tried. They tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Oh, I'm... Jim Hamburger's throwing some smack talk out here, you think? Dark Swarm Lurker doing its terrible, terrible damage against everything in the production for 159. The Guardians didn't come. The Guardians decided not to show up, which is too bad because the Valkyries were ready for them. Immediately trying to siege up tanks here to deal with these dudes, but they are making a beeline for that mineral line, and that is burrowing. And not much. Not much there. Still 67 SCVs. The Valkyries are over here trying... There we go. Valkyries now coming in. And doing really well against these Guardians, because anything that can hit Guardians is good against Guardians. They are squishy. Really squishy. 135 to 93 total supply. 159 still has an advantage in overall supply here. A lot of that is SCVs, because the worker count is definitely higher for him. Trying to set up a contain on the Terran player, which I gotta say is pretty gutsy to try to do that. More Valkyries in production, working on additional Hydras and Defilers. Is Senor Hamburger. Hamburger, as they say en français. I don't know that wandering up into that Dark Swarm is exactly what you want to do, 159. In fact, I would recommend entirely against it. And Hamburger just kind of slow pushing in here a little bit. The Dark Swarm about here. Beautifully done by Hamburger. Really wants to sit on top of this production, and I can't say that I blame him for it either. Doing some damage, a little bit of damage to these factories, I guess. 83 SCVs right now for 159. It's a 187 to 113 army supply difference for the Terran. Like, Hamburger is not doing super well. I like the position he's got these Lurkers in, I do, but they just want him out of the Dark Swarm and they all died. It's a mass tank setup right now. These guys are at +1 attack. They're not working on +2, though they could be, and this is the high ground. This is the huge advantage that Terran has, is the ability to set up tanks on the high ground and shell. Some other versions of this map, RJB actually has a specific version of this map where there is no high ground you can sit on. Terrans don't like it as much, but he likes it. Oh, the irradiate, SCV count. Oh, burrowed. My goodness. Oh. He lost 2 SCVs to those 2 irradiates. That's incredible. I really would like to... Okay, so this guy is sacrificial. Here we go. Further unloading. Trying to get a foothold here in Hamburger's base. And actually, he's greedy. He wants to get up. That mineral line got pulled so fast, though. And now the unloading on top of the tanks. Although the Overlords are taking some hits here from these Valkyries. They're chased out. Meanwhile, Dark Swarm, Lurker, he's trying to get rid of these tanks on the low ground here. He can't do much about the high ground tanks right now because the Valkyries are protecting them, but he does get rid of all of the tanks on the low ground that were right up against the wall here, so that helps a little bit. And then further irradiate attempts. Oh, jeez. Ah, that was an already injured drone, I guess, because it died real fast. Didn't really kill anybody else. Okay, this is a good game. I mean, RJB doesn't send me duds, but this is a really nice fastest map game. Look at Valkyries just wrecking Scourge. Valkyries killing Overlords by the dozens. Scourge getting some hits in there too. All right. Doing okay. But still, oh man, these science vessels are getting crushed by the 4 spores. These Lurkers are still inside the Terran base and still actually killing tanks and stuff. Because you know what? The Valkyries can't do anything about these. There's a reason we don't see Valkyries a lot in regular games. It's because they can't shoot down at all. And they would have been so nice to have. Look at these Defilers just wandering in. New Dark Swarms. La 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 la. Ooh, he played his own Defilers there. And he got a couple of the Valkyries too, but still, oh my gosh. The Valkyries. You've been plagued already, Valkyries. Don't push your luck on those spores, but absolutely kill these Overlords. Oh, that plague was worse than I thought. Secondary Dark Swarm up. It doesn't stack. But it will be there when the first one runs out, which is the whole idea right there. Ooh, another plague, but catches the science vessels, but also catches all of his Lurkers, I feel like. My goodness. Yeah, this game is some really nice back and forth action here. Plague science vessel dies, no surprise. High ground tank dies, bit of a surprise. Gets the irradiate out on the Defiler. Good. And holding 133 to 121 supply. 159 has had an advantage overall. Oh, did some Lurkers get down here? That's 33 SCVs. They must have wandered down when I was distracted by something else. All right, fair enough. 34 SCVs, slowly rebuilding them with the 3 command centers that he has. He'll be fine. Yeah, trying to unload over here when there's a ton of spores and a ton of Lurkers coming up. I mean, this neighboring position thing really creates some fun stuff. I gotta say, Lurker spines coming up onto the high ground from the low. We don't see that a lot. Do not see that a lot at all. Firing on these Lurkers, but they're not stacked up to the point where they're catching splash damage from anybody else, so they're fine. More high ground tanks set up here. Got some Goliaths on the ground, which again, Goliaths can hit ground and air, which is why we see Goliaths a lot more in regular Brood War games, yeah? Science Vessel, I think, had been plagued, but nice catch. Irradiating that Defiler right before it goes down. I don't know who 159 is, but they've got consistently a 300 APM. So they're giving Hamburger all that he can handle right now. He's maxed out. Hamburger's at 145 supply. Both players spending their money fairly well for fastest map. +2 attack for the mech with +1 armor. The Hydras are sitting at 2-2. Yeah, I mean, no matter how many tanks are being killed here, they're getting replaced pretty effectively by 159. He's making 3 at a time, 3 Goliaths at a time, some Valkyries too. I don't know what this is exactly, other than wandering into Sunkens and dying. Because that's what it is. Just bad pathing. I think he might have told them to do something else. Oh, another Dark Swarm comes up. Hamburger has always been good with the Dark Swarm. He's always been good with the Dark Swarm. Another Irradiate, a couple Defilers getting irradiated, harming a third Defiler that's just in the mix. He burrows in time to stay alive, though, with all of 10 HP. Unloading the tanks. This is the most bold unload and setup we have seen down here. So this one Lurker survives inside the Dark Swarm. Everything else got splash damage to death. And then Ling's very bravely coming down with some Hydra support to clear the tanks out of his homeland. Sasu doing all right. Hamburger's at 91 drones all of a sudden, which is insanity. Keep trying to get Irradiates off. Ooh, the burrow was a little bit late there, but enough. My goodness, this is the most prolonged I've seen a conflict across a wall like this before in a fastest map game. It is crazy. Really fantastic play. But again, the Valkyrie's doing so much good work in the way of keeping dudes alive. Another Goliath wanders over down this way. How many Defilers will be irradiated in this game? I feel like we're already at about 15. Probably get more. 20, 25. Where are we going to end here? I don't really know. I mean, here's the thing. 159 has made concerted efforts to get a foothold here in Hamburger's base. Hamburger has not really been able to get a foothold in 159's base for the last, I would say, 5 or 10 minutes. So if this trend continues, I see 159 winning this game. Whoever he is, Mr. 159, 159, 15459, you're doing very well against a very terrifying fastest map player in Hamburger here. Double Irradiate, left side, right side. Oh! Down to 82 drones from the 90 whatever he had before. Is he going to try to... He's long distance mining from this one. That's how crazy this is. That is so many Lurkers on the ground. You have enough Valkyries left. They got plagued again. I don't know, man. Alright, so the Lurkers very bravely charging into this situation against +2 tanks. And the Dark Swarm is just doing great things here for Hamburger. There might be a couple tanks remaining in this corner after all is said and done. But the Muta tech switch here, pretty good. Yeah, the Mutas, to take out everything that has been irradiated here today is such an intelligent choice. Oh, but the multiple irradiates are hard to account for if you're trying to split Mutas out. If you get irradiated 4 times, that's real rough. Alright, so these tanks are dead, but they got, you know, a handful of kills each, which is better than nothing. I don't know that Hydras are the right choice to try to deal with this. I really don't, as they all get obliterated by said +2 tanks, with getting +3 here at the 26-minute mark. Mind you, this is going to be one heck of a long cast. This might be the longest I've posted ever to the YouTube. I think maybe next month I'll just Twitch this. I think it'd be more fun to Twitch it. Ooh, finally Defensive Matrix comes up to irradiate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! Out from 80 to 64 drones there. That was a hit. We're up to 48 SCVs. I don't know that we're really planning. I guess we're making 3 more at a time. Working on it. This is like the slowest slow push TVZ I have ever seen. Remember how far I can zoom? And check it out. Remember when I said we're getting Devourers? Yeah, I was not kidding about that. We're getting Devourers. They're kind of wrecking these Valkyries because we're outnumbered heavily here. This very, very sneaky transition into Devourers was made possible by the power of fastest map. We are suddenly Guardian devouring here today. +1 attack Guardians, +3 armor. Is this the hammer? This Guardian Devourer force too much. Ooh. And the follow-up of the mass Hydra drop all over this. Oh, and the Dark Swarm. I think 159 might just be done here. The Lurkers are getting huge splashes off. The Hydras are hitting at the same time. Somehow there's still 48 SCVs. I imagine more would be dead, but maybe all the Lurkers died. They got the command center, which is good, but not game-ending necessarily. That's not something you see every day. Mutalisk, Devourer, Valkyrie, Guardian, right? Fastest map is amazing. So it's 156 to 75. I think that's it. That's your GG. When there are this many Mutas on top of your production and you don't have any Valkyries left because the Devourer killed them all, well, let's just say you're gonna have a bad time. Mutas, get on top of this production. Seal the deal. That's it. GG. 159 has left the game. And that's it. 28-59 or 28-54. Our winner and hero is HamburgerSasu. Gotta say, it wasn't looking good for him for a minute there. There were tanks in his base, but he went for the crazy Devourer Guardian Scourge Mutalisk play while dropping Hydras on that main command center. And didn't kill all the SCVs, but again, ruined kind of the efficiency of the gathering there, and then got a ton of mutas on top of everything else, killed every Valkyrie. And there's a reason we don't see Valkyries in regular games, and I think that answers a lot of it. So we've got one more game to go here today. We are not done yet. Let's check out the final score on this one. 428,000 points for Hamburger, 344 for 159. Ends up killing 596 Zerg units, which is a ton. Structures raised is equal, which is very strange. You don't see that a lot. And resources here, 159, more gas mined, fewer minerals mined, and fewer spent. Hamburger doing everything but getting a ton of gas in this match. So let's move on in. I think we have another fastest map for you. It's not HamburgerSasu, but it's going to be very fun otherwise. Let's see what we get here. We'll be right back with even more StarCraft today, if you can believe it. The final game of our StarCraft 2 Brood War Power Hour, which I'm going to do on Twitch next time because this was a lot longer than I expected, is going to be here another fastest map, a 2v2. So Team 1 is the Magenta Zerg player, Enthameme. And his teammate, way down here, it is the orange Zerg player, DSO. Team 2, Marine Lord 89, and Ateka. Ateka. It's almost like Aztec, but it's not. I don't understand. Okay. So we're going to speed this up just because I don't see anybody cannon rushing or anything at this point. And this has been a really, really, really long cast today. Okay, and yesterday. Apparently, DSO is coaching his buddy on how to play the game, which does not bode well for their team, I gotta say. Also, one of these players is a patron, but I don't know who it is. Like, I know the name and the player name of the player who sent this in, but I think they're playing under a Smurf name or something because I don't recognize any of these four. So, again, I don't know who to root for in this one. But, ooh, this is dangerous. 3 hatcheries before pool. I don't like that. Out of Enthameme. I like that, says DSO. Are you all doing this? No, pool is done. Pool is done for DSO. And the Protoss are just doing Nexus things, or rather Gateway things, because that's what they do. Start making them Sunkens, please. Finally, his pool finishes. That's an enemy pylon, because it's 2 Zerg versus 2 Protoss. Ah, Marine Lord's a Protoss. How annoying is that? This guy, says DSO. All right, man. Are you both going to go for Magenta now? I would not blame you if you worked together and tried to do that. I mean, this isn't huge Zealot pushes for 3.5 minutes, but I will tell you, being on the receiving end of this is not a good experience at all. All right, they're going for it. They're going to try to take down this one Sunken. This one's going to die. These guys are not participating because Atecha is not interested in doing that. Actually, isn't Atecha the name of the Native American character in Westworld? I believe it is. There's a whole episode around him that's one of the best episodes in the show. Zerglings try to get in here and do some... Oh, he seriously get all of the workers down there? Nicely done. So, Marine Lord's down to 0 probes. Seems real bad. At least he's getting a second Nexus, so he can double pump probes eventually, but he's going to be in a whirl of hurt. That Ling attack was really nice. Basically, Magenta was able to take all of the aggression from the Protoss and not really lose much with it, and that left the front door open for Marine Lord, where Lings came in and destroyed all of his probes. So, nicely done. Really good teamwork there from DSO and Enthameme. Pretty sure that's Enthameme. That seems like a legitimate way to say it. Atecha is cannoning in the middle of the map here, which is not a bad idea. It kind of does prevent teammates from helping each other if they have to go through like 100 cannons first. You just have to get 100 cannons out there, though. Marine Lord's back up to 9 probes. All things considered, he's probing up quite nicely. I was really worried about him, but he seems to have a good idea of what he's doing to this point to be able to bring that up again. Yeah, Atecha doesn't seem super great. Only at 31 probes, only has these 4 gates right now. Isn't putting these probes to work, is really worried about cannoning the front, which, again, with enough cannons, it's great. With a few cannons, it's bad. Multiple hatcheries coming up here from D.SO, and Enthameme doing all right. Multiple hatcheries, working on that hive. Got double Hydralisk Hydralisk dens for Hydralisk upgrades. Just the one Hydralisk den down here, but double evolution chamber for the Orange Zerg. Those are getting started for Enthameme now, too. So now the trick is getting out and dealing with these cannons. Again, the cannons also help if you're trying to defend against an attack. So cannoning the middle provides a lot of purpose here. And I like it. I like it a lot. 4 hatcheries at a time in production from DSO. We got additional hatcheries. So basically, everybody's kind of macroing up at this stage. That might be the first time the Hydra sees these cannons, although no, does not see the cannons yet. Oh, we can red versus blue it. We don't have to, though. It's Zerg versus Protoss, right? We can keep these colors up. Colors are fun. Marine Lord is kind of behind because I killed all of his workers. Yes. Let's get him. But guess what? Surprise! Million cannons! The Hydras are making decent progress, but also losing their numbers at the same time. Also, Dragoons and Zealots are here to support, which means the cannons aren't getting directly focused on, but a lot of Hydras are out for DSO. Atecha's at 130 supply. Plus, he had all those cannons. So, like, maybe I shouldn't be bad-mouthing Atecha, but this is a lot. Micro your Hydras, Enthymeme. Just a little bit, man. Or not. We can just stand there and die. That sounds entirely reasonable. DSO still at 119 supply, looking all right. Marine Lord's at 58 probes and 109 supply. Marine Lord doing fine. Also, Marine Lord, come help. Atecha needs your assistance, friend. Well, this seems really bad all of a sudden. If there are this many Hydras in your face and all you're making are Dragoons, you're not going to trade well. Really, Marine Lord needs to assist. He's being a very bad teammate here in this fastest map, 2v2. Defender's advantage is real, but we're not that far away from the other bases. Oh, is Enthymeme Democracy? Ah, Democracy is one of my patrons. So this is probably him then. Enthymeme is Democracy. What is really helping this attack succeed is the fact that Marine Lord has no interest in assisting with this at all. So Atecha's dead. Like, his probes are not leaving this house. All his gateways are gone. His probes are out. His worker count's going to go to 0 here momentarily. As more and more probes keep popping up right now. And, no. So nothing but Hydras here. 2 probes remaining for Atecha somehow. 1 probe remaining for Atecha somehow. It's down here. No, sneak out. Ooh, secret Stargate is secret, though. Maybe they won't recognize there's a Stargate here, says Democracy. Although these Overlords are making a beeline for the Stargate, so never mind. Democracy will discover it. Where'd the name Enthymeme come from, Democracy? Seriously, guy. Well, alright. Considering there's a decided lack of splash damage from Marine Lord, I like that he's back. I do. The Corsair answer seems odd. Your opponent has 100,000 Hydralisks. I am not convinced that that's going to be an answer. Dude, Democracy, let's go. What are you doing? Go attack. Oh, you're dropping. Never mind, I apologize. Dropping's great. Poor Corsairs, but like, again, mass Hydra. Mass DT here too, but guess who has Overlords? So he was trying to go DT Corsair, is what he was attempting, but no. Short answer here, not going to work out for you in the long run, although enough DTs that you could wipe out those Hydras pretty effectively, but your front door is a problem. And this just looks like a raffle stomping the rest of the way. Marine Lord at 112 supply, which is not bad, but DSO's at 166 and Democracy's at 138. Overlord in position to finally provide vision for those DTs to get wiped out. And Marine Lord's supply is plummeting quite heavily. Atecha's out. He was trying to make Corsairs too. I guess Corsair DT something, right? Like, it's not incredible, but I don't know if it works, right? When it comes down to a 2v2 fastest map. I don't know that DT Corsair is viable. There's just too much production available. Whoa, easy, Marine Lord. Easy with the language there, friend. Yeah. Oh, his sound was off. Ow. So that's why his probes all died. He didn't respond at all because his sound was off. would have stacked them and tried to fight. Yeah, also, if, I mean, get some splash damage if both your opponents are going Hydralisks. That would be my recommendation. 2-2 here for DSO, 1-1 here for Democracy, working on 2-2, but really unnecessary here. And they ally at the end of the game to be friends, and that's it. So 2v2, basically just holding a big Zealot attack and then countering with a million Hydralisks, and that's going to be all she wrote. So really, really fantastically good game. That was a ton of fun. Ridiculous amount of fun. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the August Patron casts for Falcon Paladin for August 2020. That was a lot. That was a lot. This is going to be the longest video I may have uploaded to YouTube, period. So that's exciting. All right, well, let's check out the final score, and then we'll wrap this thing up. But hit that like button if you had a good time today, because I had a blast, honestly. That was a lot of fun. DSO wins the day. Enthymeme, Democracy, 121,000 points. Other team, not so good. Producing a lot of Hydralisks and killing a lot of stuff. Structures raised is just not even fair. And resources for DSO and Democracy fairly even, all things considered. All right, well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for joining me today on this marathon video, and you take care of yourself.